Ladies and gentlemen of the living and the dead, my name is Ari Esther, and I'm your friendly neighborhood Copernicanus who fears all things horror. Happy Monday! Happy Monday. It is starting to get warm, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But other than that, start of a new week. It's the start of a new week. Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Hello. Hello, CJ and everyone. Hi, I hope that your Monday hasn't been bad. Hope that you've been having a good time solving mysteries. You look like you make a great detective. I don't know about the second part, but thank you. Thank you. I don't think I think outside of the box enough to be a detective, but thank you. Today's been going okay. It's alright. It's not... Could be worse, but could be better. It's just another day. Just another day. Hello, Brondo. Hi. Welcome in. How you doing? Happy Monday. Well... I don't think there's anything to say today. Nothing of note happened today. Yeah, it was a pretty standard, non-eventful day. But, we are back today with murders on the Yangtze River. It's been a hot minute since we played this game. 2 or 3 weeks, maybe? I don't even remember. Probably 2 weeks since we played this game. Where are we? We are in London, investigating the apparent suicide of our brother, but we all know better, don't we? We all know better. It's a sealed room and it appears to be a suicide. It was definitely murder. Alright. Oh, we have new knowledge. Okay, new facts. Let's get a history lesson in before we do more investigating. I actually don't remember what we're supposed to be doing. So let's just read some facts for now. A Morse code telegraph. Morse code is an encoding method invented by the British inventor Samuel Morse. Oh, is that his name? I did not know that. It encodes English letters and Arabic numerals using a combination of dots, dashes, and spaces to facilitate the efficient transmission of information. The Morse code telegraph machine operates on the principle of controlling the opening and closing of an electromagnet with electric currents. It prints the transmitted or received information on a roll of paper strip, thus carrying out the work of information transmission. I do not speak Morse code. Hungry Ghost Festival. The Hungry Ghost Festival, also known as the Zongyuan Festival, is a traditional Chinese festival observed on the 15th day of the 7th month in the lunar calendar. In ancient times, during the 7th month of the lunar calendar, the emperor presents the newly harvested grains to the ancestral temple to repay the blessings of gods, ghosts, and ancestors. In Buddhism, believers held a bon festival ceremony on the same day according to the Ulambana Sutra. Ulambana Sutra, offering sacrifices to monks and returning merits to their parents. In Taoism, it is said that the Emperor of the Central Plains, the highest official in the land, forgives the sins of the dead on this day. People offer flowers and fruits, set up altars, and recite scriptures praying for the Emperor to forgive their ancestors and also save other souls. Also, you're not allowed to go swimming on this 15th day of the 7th month. My parents would forbid me to go swimming. Because apparently, that's when the gates open, and ghosts who have drowned are looking for someone to die in their place so they can move on, or something. Wax cylinder phonograph. The wax cylinder phonograph, popular from 1896 to 1910, was a recording and playback audio device. They utilized the principle of converting sound waves into vibrations of a metal needle to record and play back waveforms on wax cylinders. In 1877, Thomas Edison invented the foil cylinder phonograph, which was prone to damage, had a limited playback capability. It was later improved and just to become the all-wax cylinder phonograph, which was introduced to the market in 1888 and gained widespread recognition. Peking Opera, 7-star lamp. Oh, this was what was playing on the phonograph when we got here last time. A traditional Peking opera play, also known as Combing Bags for Longevity, adapted from the novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It tells the story of Zhuge Liang, a prominent Chinese military strategist who suffers from severe vomiting and blood loss. He performs a ritual that uses 7 lamps to prolong his life. However, the ritual was interrupted and Zhuge Liang died with premonition of his future. I see. Alright. Knowledge. Strychnine. Strychnine is a type of alkaloid extracted from the plant Strychnos index vomica. That sounds poisonous AF. It is slightly soluble in water, colorless, extremely bitter, and highly toxic. According to legend, it is believed that the poison was used to kill Li Yu, an emperor in China. The symptoms of strychnine poisoning includes restlessness, twitching of facial and neck muscles, followed by severe muscle spasms throughout the body. Death usually occurs within 1 to 3 hours after poisoning due to asphyxiation or exhaustion. The individual's face may show a bitter smile and the body may exhibit arching and stiffness resembling symptoms of tetanus. Forensic toxicology testing. Oh, long words. We got some very long words. For a long time, the detection of poisons in criminal investigations was a significant challenge. It was not until after the chemical revolution of the 18th century that a new understanding of elements laid the foundation for poison detection. The chemist Ursula conducted numerous experiments to establish analytical methods for identifying poisons from biological tissues and fluids. He organized a systematic classification and identification method of poison into a treatise on forensic medicine. Later, he marked the formation of forensic toxicology by extracting arsenic from the internal organs of the deceased to confirm poisoning. Let's see. Alright. Some reading. I'm going to speak to Officer Jones now. I'm going to ask you a few more questions. Officer Jones says, as long as it helps to solve the case swiftly. Okay, apparently we don't have any questions. I don't think there's anything else to do. I actually don't remember the controls of this game. Message history. It was very small. I don't think there's anything else to look at. I think we pretty much looked at everything. So we're gonna leave now, I think. Proceed to hallway. Let's talk to Mrs. Chang. Hello, Auntie Chang. Do you want to know about my personal matters, about your brother's matters, or about the case? About you, Mrs. Chang. You'd like to ask how long I have been in London. Yes. I am from Teochew Canton. And I've been here for 13 years. The fog in London, toxic. You can see nothing, smell unpleasantly. Lungs corrupted for living here. No one cares about this terrible environment. Auntie Chandler's staircases, indeed. Oh, she only cares to tell us about her lungs. The medicine side is nothing special. They're all tonic herbs, astragalus, ginseng, and goji berries. Okay, let's ask her about our brother. Your brother is polite and knowledgeable, and our 5 elements are a good match. According to the sectionary cycle, was born on a Jane day, and your brother on a Jihai day. I don't know what any of this means. Jane belongs to metal, while Jihai belongs to earth, and earth generates metal. The yin and yang are balanced, mutually generating and thriving. If he rents this house from me, both he and I should benefit. She's very into feng shui. Alas, his year predicts misfortune and a short life. Don't move. Wait, what? What do you mean, don't move? Your eyes are bright and lively. Your facial features are well proportioned. Signs of a long life. Oh, thank you. Listen to my advice. Don't hold on to gains and losses. Only trap you in inner demons. If only Auntie Chan knows about our Fight Club situation. Let's ask her about the case. What happened that day? That day, I was sitting at the entrance. Brian came back at noon and greeted me. Also, I saw several people following him like ghosts. Did you beat him up, Auntie? After your brother came back, they stood opposite side of the street staring here. Keep an eye on him. You know that my... It seems like he also noticed. His left facial muscle is twitching a bit. Expression looks peculiar, very rigid. Oh, was he already poisoned? At that time, it was approximately around 1 o'clock. I watched him go upstairs and lock himself inside. He didn't come out again. Before the police arrived, I stayed at the entrance the whole time, and no one else went in. Okay, I told the police, but they didn't believe me. They even said it was my mistake. Public security here is bad. Alright, we have Mrs. Chan's testimony. That is all for now. Thank you for your cooperation, ma'am. That was very helpful. I'm getting myself reacquainted with the evidence. Oh no, man. The art of this body is kind of cute. In like a morbid way. Getting myself reacquainted with the evidence because I don't remember any of this. Okay, there was a missing book. There were candles, unburned paper, key. Okay. Okay. So let's examine Mrs. Chan's room. House. The various uncommonly used items piled up. Okay. Ooh. What's this? The art of the body? That's crazy. I just think the art is cute. It's drawn very cutely in a very morbid way. There's a statue of Guan Yu placed as an offering on the ancestral altar. In front of the statue is a censer with 3 burning incense sticks inside it. Herbal medicine pot. Medicine is being brewed on the stove, and the hallways filled with a strong herbal smell. But the smell is unfamiliar. It doesn't resemble common Chinese herbal medicine. Okay, is there anything else in the dining/living room that I should look at? No. Alright, let's go into the bedroom. Hanger. These are Brian's coat and hat. I didn't find any suspicious clues. Bookcase! Bookcase in the bedroom is filled with detective novels. There are also The Murders in the Rue Morgue, The Woman in White, and The Moonstone. A whole collection of the Sherlock Holmes series. The Return, a book gifted by Joseph. There's a dedication he left on the title page. Brian, welcome back to the Conan Doyle Book Club. Enjoy The Return, Joseph. Remember Brian's dream to become a detective. Oh no. Alright, bedside table. This photo is probably the only family photo. If it weren't for our father, the family wouldn't have fallen apart. Oh. Now even you have left. Shen's all by himself. Let's look at the bed. Carefully searched the bed that my brother slept in, but I didn't find any suspicious clues. Photo on the wall. No, his brother was very good looking. I'm just saying. Can a lantern really make wishes come true? Of course it can. The sky lantern is a messenger to the moon for listening to wishes. Shen and his brother are like very good looking in comparison to everyone else in this game. Really, does the moon listen to our wishes? Yes. Write wishes on your lantern, release into the sky, the moon becomes aware. And I want to become a great traveler. Brother, what is your wish? My wish is to become a detective. I've never heard of the lantern going to the moon to grant wishes. I was always told you're supposed to float on the river. What is a detective? Detectives also go on adventures like travelers do. Do they really? They always manage to notice details that others overlook. You sure about that? That sounds impressive. Then I want to become a detective traveler! Alright, Shen. Good. I believe it'll definitely come true. Sky lanterns flying. Take a photo. Live 2D is very nice in this game. You know, the idea of like letting the sky lantern out into the sky is cute, but all I can think about is like the pollution. Like when the lantern comes down, just trash everywhere. It was taken before my father. The photo has been with my brother all along. Alright. Bedside table drawer. Let's see what's in here. My brother's diary. The previous pages have been torn off. Only one page remains. This is a dead end. Everything's meaningless. Utterly meaningless. After a while.
I have already checked everything.
Yeah, Shen has checked everything.
Please take me to the police station.
Yeah.
To take a look at the case files.
Yeah, can you take me to the police station?
Hey,
Thanks,
bro.
Officer Jones.
We're off then.
Yeah, let's go.
At the station, you'll need to sign a few papers for
Oh, I have to sign papers? Okay, sure. Sure. Hello, Shipmaster Lo! I just received a telegram from Edgar Lee at Hanyang Ironworks and need your help. He's a longtime friend of mine. Oh, we're not solving our brother's murder? Yet? We have come back to the present time. We have time traveled very quickly. This morning, an extremely mysterious incident occurred at the ironworks. Oh. Afu wants to go. Afu's very excited. I've been wanting to visit Hanyang Ironworks. Then let's take on this commission. It's on our way anyway. Sure! Let's leave immediately. I thought we've already left. Oh, have we not been sailing on the ocean this whole time? Oh, early 20th century Wuhan. $2,000 years before COVID or something. I don't know. I just made it up. Iron and steel, the backbone of industry. Bro, this Light 2D is nice. In the history of Wu and Yue, there are records of Ganjian and Moye's secret to steelmaking. The transformation of spirit and matter requires a human sacrifice. Wait, what? I once believed that was only an ancient legend. Yet history chose to repeat itself once more. Oh. Oh! The haunted furnace! Yes, Afu. Hanyang Ironworks is right up ahead. Let's hurry on in. Okay, sure. I want to change outfits. I can't wear an ordinary shirt. It's not unlocked yet. I can wear an ordinary suit, though. How come the ordinary suit comes before the ordinary shirt? Interesting. Oh, what's this? Misty gray suit? New drip? Yeah, I'm getting bored of this outfit. We've worn this outfit for an entire chapter. I don't want to wear it anymore. We wore this already in the flashbacks. We're gonna wear this misty gray suit. Alpha only has one outfit where he doesn't wear those ridiculous glasses. Well, actually two, but I haven't unlocked the other one yet. Alright, I guess I can let him match with us. Even if the glasses are ridiculous. There we go. Oh, look at that! Don't we look nice? We look like real detectives now! Department Administrator. You two gentlemen must be the detective Shipmaster Low recommended. I am Li. I, the Deputy Administrator of the Hanyang Ironworks. I'm Shan. This is my assistant, Afu. Don't mind his ugly glasses. Please tell me the course of events of this incident, Your Honor. Your Honor! This morning, Foreman Ting accidentally fell into the ladder and caused an explosion. Sounds like an accident with something wrong. Wait, he just fell? When Foreman Ting fell into the ladle, two workers witnessed the entire process. They both claimed that Foreman Ting appeared out of thin air at the second floor furnace area. Okay. Appear out of thin air. That's right. No one saw him go up. In the blink of an eye, he was just standing there. I see. Hello, Bob Fee. Are you going to play Persona 4 Revival when it comes out? When it goes on sale. Maybe I'll buy it. Just kidding. I'll buy it when it goes on sale. I don't know when I will play it, but we will play it eventually. Could be when it comes out. Could be 2 years from when it comes out. Eventually, I will play it. Yeah. It looks good, though. The trailer looks good. I'm more excited for Persona 4 Revival than I am for P6. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But yes, I plan on playing it eventually. Oh no! God, Brondo, way to be a hater. Oh, it caused mass panic because rumors of ghosts are beginning to spread among the workers. Ghosts are not real. Unless you're me, then they are real. In detective games, they're never real. But in real life, they're very real. That is indeed particularly odd. The situation is getting out of control. Any more delay could cause more troubles to arise. I hope you can uncover the truth today so that we can calm the workers and resume production. Too bad Shen can't summon the dead like I can. I have solved this case in 2 seconds. Don't worry and leave it to us, Mr. Deputy Administrator. Shen is a professional. Thank you for the troubles. I have matters to attend to, so please excuse me. Alright, goodbye, Deputy Administrator. What is it, Afu? I didn't get to ask him what the exact rumors were yet. We will find out. Yeah, we should go to the site of the incident first, take a look. But before that, let's get a history lesson. Deputy Administrator. In the newly established government offices or representative organization at the end of the Qing Dynasty, the Deputy Administrator refers to the Assistant Director of the organization as an official title. The Executive Director is usually called the Administrator or the General Manager. For example, when preparations for the construction of the Hanyang Ironworks began, Kai Shiyong was appointed as the Administrator and Zhao Weiqing along with Xu Jianying were appointed as deputy administrators. They were in charge of the machinery purchases, site selection, iron mining, coal mining, and other affairs in the ironworks. I see. Alright, time to go inside the factory! Afu is very excited. Molten steel is flowing out from the outlet. What a grand sight. This is like Disneyland for Afu. Oh, is that who I think it is? Auntie Vu! Hello, Auntie! The official said that something terrible happened here and asked me to come examine the body. I rushed over here the second I arrived. I haven't even had the time to eat lunch yet. Auntie, can you still examine the body after it fell into a furnace? Wow. Way to question aunties. What's there to examine his own ashes now? I don't have any godlike abilities to help me distinguish a corpse from slag. Even if Auntie was the reincarnation of Sangji, it's still impossible. At least you get the point, unlike them. So it seems like you two are overseeing this matter as well? That is correct. Auntie Vu, do you have any information on this case? The deceased is called Ting Ta Fan. He was 45 years old and the foreman of the factory floor. There are lots of rumors about the cause of his incident, but most of it can't be taken seriously. Have you heard the rumors too? Alfred wants to know the tea! The little rascal, why are you always so interested in chasing shadows? Without an autopsy, it'll be even more difficult to uncover the truth. Fell from the second floor, so you should go there. No need to waste your time here. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Auntie. Oh, like, apparently people think he was possessed when he jumped, quote unquote. Slag heap? What's here? Is the corpse mixed with the slag? Still thinking about an autopsy? If you could separate them, I'll examine the body for you! Seems I would not be able to obtain any clues from the corpse this time. Alright, here's the barrier. Area is blocked up by rope. Someone's protecting the scene by using the rope as a boundary line. Such a careful, professional arrangement must have been the work of Auntie Vu. It was already like this when I got here! Auntie's so real! Auntie's so real. This is ladle number 2, the ladle that the foreman fell into. The ladle are 2 meters tall and can hold up 30 tons of molten steel at a time. Alright, we've got some new clues. We'll reach the site of the incident when we go up from here. Hopefully the crucial evidence will still be there. Alright. Second floor platform. Oh my god, we're gonna climb? What is the matter? There are scorch marks all over the stairs. The explosion was caused by the incident. Even the stairs were affected. The splash range of the explosion must be quite wide. This means that no one could approach these stairs for quite a while, even after the explosion. So are we going? Am I going upstairs? I'm not going. Okay, we are going upstairs. Okay, so this furnace charging area. Lever. This is a lever used to open the molten steel outlet. That's right. It's a very thoughtful design. Okay. This lever is really long. You have to stand here to open the outlet shutter. Okay, to minimize the risk of burns, the lever was made long for operators to open the molten steel gate from a safe distance. Is it designed this way to prevent the workers from getting burned? That's right! The molten steel in the furnace can reach a temperature of a staggering 1,600 Celsius! Once the shutter is open, the temperature close by rises rapidly. It's much safer to open the furnace from such a distance. I see. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wait. I like this. This looks really cool. Damn, the light 2D in this game is crazy. Molten steel outlet number 2. This is where Foreman Ting's falling incident took place. Able to see the workers in the opposite metal casting area from here. You can also see the ladle directly below. It's ginormous, like a well. When the incident happened, the well was filled with red-hot molten steel. Sure looks like the entrance to hell. You're not wrong. This is the entrance leading to the truth? Lol. Shen, you're so funny. Alright, crime scene investigation. Here we go. What is this? There's some grayish white powder underneath the railing. Off of sniffing. Even though you're not supposed to. You're supposed to waft, not sniff, according to my science teacher in like 7th grade. Upon closer examination, these are small particles that have a lingering pungent smell. Alright, found some grayish white powder. Do you know what this is? Can't think of anything right now, but this must be residue of something that was burnt. Okay. Although there are scorch marks on the molten steel outlet shutter, it's still intact. Seems like a furnace explosion accident didn't occur at the time. A section of the railing next to the molten steel outlet is missing. Judging from the structure, there should be a movable crossbar here. This design makes it more convenient to clean the molten steel outlet. But where did the crossbar go? Could it be that it fell into the ladle? Details quite suspicious. I agree. Why is it just missing? Why is the railing just missing so the foreman can just fall? This is the molten steel basin. Once the shutter is open, molten steel of 1,600 Celsius flows through here into the ladle. I don't know what that means in Fahrenheit. When that happens, the temperature close by will be extremely hot. Okay. What else we got? This is the ladle that Foreman Ting fell into. It is now empty. Where did the molten steel go? Perhaps the workers may know something about this. We've already looked at the grayish powder. This is the basin. Alright, we're missing something. There's scorch marks all over the railings. Foreman Ting's fall caused an explosion. Though quite a few people have mentioned the sound of an explosion on site. Could it be possible that the explosion occurred first, then Ting fell into the molten steel after? Human body contains a lot of water. When water meets molten steel, it will vaporize and its volume expand 1,000 times. So if a person were to fall into molten steel, it's bound to cause an explosion. And if the explosion occurred first and Ting fell after, there would have been 2 explosions. However, the workers only saw 1 explosion. It must have been caused by Ting's fall. Alright. Human bomb! I see. Hello, Muto! Welcome in! We're just investigating the crime scene! Just investigating the crime scene! Alright, that's all done. Can't go any further. Apparently this plant is still operating. Low railing. The railings on both sides of outlets 1 are movable. It has the same design as outlet 2. You see. Crane hook! These big crane hooks used to transport a ladle. These are the crane hooks of the bridge crane. It can lift up to 50 tons of load. Alright, let's proceed to the furnace charging area. Let's see what's in here. This is the charging area behind the furnaces. The workers working here should probably know something. I'll find out. Charging machine. Finally get to see an autoloader with my own eyes. I was very excited by all the technology in this place. This is what the structure of a crown block is like. I don't know what that means. If we go further, we'll be able to go around to the left side of furnace number 12. Molten steel is coming out from there and it's scalding hot. We better not go over there. Understood. Let's talk to Lee Chen Hai. Hello, sir. I was entrusted to investigate Foreman Ting's fall incident. You may call me Shen. Can I have a moment of your time? But call me Mister. I'm used to that. Hello, furnace charger. I'm just a furnace charger. My name's Lee Chen Hai. You can call me Old Lee. Alright. Ask all you want. Give me time to rest a bit. Alright. Tell me about yourself. What are you mainly responsible for? I'm responsible for charging the furnace. I'm also in charge of opening and closing the outlet. Does charging the furnace mean to add fuel to the furnace? Not fuel, but bulk materials. Okay. Blast furnace, molten iron, metal mixture, open. Oh me goodness. Too much science. If you want the steel to be of high purity, you need to add bulk material in every now and then. Are there any other workers on the second floor platform? There are a few helpers, but last night was just a trial production. I didn't ask them to come. It takes 4 hours to purify steel in a furnace. That's enough for me to handle alone. You don't look so well, Lee. Haven't you rested? I just pulled an all-nighter and was going to rest today, but then the incident happened. Those punks don't have the guts to work, so they're just grabbing onto me and draining me dry. Once Shen gets to the bottom of this, you'll be able to take a break. That's just like looking forward to seeing the moon on New Year's Eve. Impossible. Don't count on it. Alright, let's see what else got. Tell me about Formenting. What kind of person was Formenting? The stubborn, one-track-minded guy who's not so popular. Oh. He's not a person of the people? He's so obsessed with steel technology that he even forgets to pay our wages. Ever since he started worshipping the gods, he became even less human. He even provoked who? Tell me, Old Lee! Never mind. No! There's no point in talking about this since he's already dead, but I want the tea! Alright. He says ask all you want, but he won't tell me about the tea. Oh, tell me about the worshipping. We need to have a comprehensive understanding of him. You also think his death is related to that statue? What statue? What statue? He must have been possessed to provoke that sort of thing. They all say that it's easy to invite a god, but hard to send one away. That is true, I've heard that before also. If you neglect them, you could be possessed by an evil spirit, or worse, you may get killed. Yeah, you still haven't told us what Formenting was worshipping. I just can't. It's unspeakable. I advise you both to stay far away from the shrine in the office. Alright. Well, now that you tell me where it is, I have to go investigate myself. About the incident! Were you working here when the incident occurred? You know, when your boss kind of went bye-bye and threw himself into burning furnace? I've been busy working here since last night. After pulling an all-nighter, the molten steel in furnace number 1 was finally ready. Once the ladle was filled, I checked the quality of the molten steel and closed outlet number 1. After that, I came back, started the autoloader, and started preparing for the next batch. I was shoveling materials into furnace 1 and suddenly heard a boom. So furnace 2 emitting smoke and the molten steel splashed everywhere and the railing on fire. I thought it was a furnace explosion, but it wasn't. Someone opened the outlet in advance. Oh. How could you be sure that someone else had opened it? A lever was in the buckle, so someone must have done it. Is it possible that you opened it yourself, but then forgot about it? No way! I couldn't have opened up furnace number 2 after I just finished working on furnace number 1. After I finish work on furnace 1, it takes 1 hour to begin working on furnace 2. Is why you think Formenting pulled the lever himself? I don't know, but it could only have been him, right? Throughout this process, did you see Formenting? Nope, I didn't see him at all. Actually, I only knew what happened after I heard Old Chow and the others talking about the incident. Wasn't Old Chow one of the workers who witnessed the incident? Yeah, I heard him saying that Ting appeared next to the molten steel outlet out of thin air. Everyone's guessing it was the 5 ghost teleportation magic. Oh, damn. All in all, it's strange business, I tell ya. Alright, thank you. Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Oli. I have to ban a bot. Ban a bot. Interrupting my crime solving. Very rude. Very rude. Dr. A draining 2. Bulk material heap. This is fuel that is piled up here. This is bulk material, mostly lime and fluorite and the sort. You need lime to make steel. Bulk materials are used to separate impurities from the molten steel. Let's see, I don't know what that means. What's this? Tarpaulin! Tarpaulin. There's a big sheet of tarpaulin here. Oh, it's just tarp! It's just tarp. So they keep steel scraps prepared for smelting piled underneath it. It's well protected. The steel scraps be used as raw material. These steel scraps are already quite rusty. That's the advantage of the open hearth process. Steel scraps can be used as raw material. I see. Alright, guess that's all there is to look at back here. I think. Let's double check. Wait, what's this? Conveyor door! What is this? Why is the door locked? That door is for transportation of minerals and elevators on the other side. This door is usually locked and only opens when we're transporting minerals. When was the last time minerals were transported up here? It would have been 2 days ago. Let's see. Feel like that conveyor door means something and will be used for later. Alright, let's go back to the second floor platform. Alright, let's gather our thoughts. We have a few questions. The victim appearing out of thin air. Old Lee said he didn't see Ting. Could it be that Foreman Ting was deliberately avoiding him? That is possible. Even so, why would Foreman Ting do that? We know very little about the deceased at the moment, so it is just too soon to judge. We also cannot rule out the possibility that Old Lee is withholding information from us. Alright. I want to go interview the ironworkers. Alright. Disappearing railing. Could it be that someone orchestrated this accident? Afu, of course. Of course they did. That's what wouldn't be here. You mean someone deliberately loosened the railing? When Foreman Ting leaned upon it, the railing came on and fell into the ladle along with him. Exactly. Afu's very excited. That does seem practicable. That does seem practicable. Practicable? However, how did that person convince Ting to lean against the railing after the shutter was open? When the shutter was open, the area nearby was very hot. The railing was scalding too. No hurry to conclude. We should investigate all the places that can be looked into first. Eerie statues! Allegedly, the death of Foreman Ting is related to the shiny office. Oli said that the Foreman Ting's death is related to the shiny office. I wonder what the shrine actually looks like. We will know once we go to the office and see for ourselves. I think there's an earthquake going on. But I can't tell. Came and it went away. Or I'm imagining things. Who knows? Let's go to the ironworks first floor. Alright. Now we want to interview all the workers. After something like this, our wages are being paid early. Supervisor Ho. I would keep your mouth shut. Just take the money and go. What's going on here? Whom's you? I don't think I've seen this young man before. Hello, Supervisor Ho. We're not here to get paid. We're here to investigate the case. Hello. Ho Shu Hen. This is Mr. Shen and his assistant Afu. They are here to investigate the matter of Foreman Ting's falling incident. That's right. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, this person is so sus. That smile he's got on his face, sus. The nicer someone looks, the more sus they are. I almost forgot this important matter. House Yu-Han, please make a deposit for Mr. Shen. Your Honor, I cannot accept this for nothing. I will reward you properly after you find out what exactly happened. Thank you. I like money. You need not refuse, Mr. Shen. The sooner everything is clear, the less damage the ironworks will have to sustain. Seems that if we don't accept the money, Mr. Deputy Administrator can be at ease. Alright. We're taking a deposit for our services. Like a real detective. Silver coins. Deputy Administrator Lee insists on giving us coins engraved with Guangxu period silver coins made in... Oh, I want to finish reading that. Hang on. This is important information right here. Deputy Administrator Lee insists on giving us coins engraved with Guangxu period silver coins made in Hubei province. I see. I always have some facts. Song Si. Song Si was a government official and the forensic medical scientist from the Southern Song Dynasty, 1127 to 1279. He dedicated his life working in criminal court and accumulated a remarkable amount of experience in forensic identification. In his later years, he wrote the book Collected Cases of Injustice Rectified, the oldest known monumental work on forensic science more than 300 years earlier than when relevant works began to appear in Europe. Damn. Crown block. Alright, let's learn about the crown block. I didn't know what it was, so this is good reading right here. A crown block, also known as a bridge crane, is a type of hoisting equipment installed above workshops or warehouses to lift heavy objects. Oh, I know what a bridge crane is. I didn't know it was also called a crown block. The structure of a crown block is similar to a cable car. However, what moves along the cableway of the crown block is not a carriage full of passengers, but a trolley connected to the lifting device. When the crown block is operating, the workers are able to control the trolley's movement in the control room and use the lifting device to transport goods. Alright, learn some new stuff. Why did Mr. Lee make us cast these ingots? Keep your mouth shut, someone's coming. Are these ingots made from the furnace that Formenting fell into? That's right, young gentlemen should stay away from this kind of unlucky thing. It's difficult to deal with later on if the molten steel cools down inside the ladle. Even so, we can't use these. The blood and bones of Formenting are in here. Just thinking about it gives me the creeps! Human body is mainly composed of water and carbon. Its density is less than molten steel. His body wouldn't sink into the molten steel, but would float on the surface and float into the tank. So in essence, these are just ordinary steel ingots. Damn, Alpha's quite the scientist. Do you think his soul could be in these ingots? The senior worker keeps telling this guy to shut up. The master, I'm afraid the shrine will unleash its powers again. Again? I will just said again, which means the shrine in the office had unleashed its powers before. Must be Devin heard me wrong. I know what I heard! Don't play dumb with me, child. Just out with it. That shrine, it's taboo. We're entrusted by Mr. Deputy Administrator to investigate the case of the falling incident. If you don't cooperate, you might be convicted of obstruction of justice! Damn, Alpha, bring out the big words. We'll talk. Alright. About a month ago, Awu and Formenting had a little argument. Awu, young and candid, kicked the shrine, the statue fell. He said some words of disrespect. And the shrine unleashed its powers? There was smoke coming out of the shrine, and there was a gunpowder smell in the air. Oh, gunpowder. My head started throbbing, I couldn't breathe, but I wanted to cough, so I almost fainted. And what happened? Ting said that Awu had offended the god of fire, then he kicked everyone out of the room. That very night, Awu got sick and lost his voice. I had nightmares. Whenever I closed my eyes, I saw the statue staring at me. If the foreman hadn't begged the gods for forgiveness on Awu's behalf eventually, I'm afraid he wouldn't even be able to speak now. We really can't say anymore. Wait, I'm not done questioning you! Oh. Alright, steam turbines. Oh, damn! The roar of these machines is deafening. This is the sound of the industry's heartbeat. Let's see. Alright. We've investigated all this stuff, so let's go talk to Supervisor Ho. Do you have anything to ask me? I will gladly tell you everything I know. Okay, tell me about yourself. What are your duties, Mr. Ho? I'm the supervisor of funds. All things related to money here falls under my responsibility. Oh, money, huh? Such as bookkeeping, managing bills, as well as the purchasing of goods and materials. I see. Paying wages? I'm not the one who's in charge of paying the wages. Usually the workers' wages are paid by the foreman directly. But that's why I'm doing it. I just heard from the workers that the wages for this month are being paid earlier than usual. Indeed, Mr. Lee has instructed me to do so, hoping that this will calm everyone down. But you probably don't know that. The Siemens Martin furnace in this incident was very expensive. After the incident, people on the factory floor were terrified, causing production to stagnate. For each day the furnace is not in operation, thousands of silver coins will be lost. No wonder Mr. Deputy Administrator seems so anxious. Hashtag capitalism. Alright, tell me about Foreman Ting. How was your relationship with Foreman Ting, Mr. Ho? My daily were intersected with Foreman Ting, so I guess we're quite familiar. What kind of person was Foreman Ting? He treated people a bit harshly, so he was not very popular among the workers. However, I know that he was just too obsessed with studying metallurgy. Huh? Obsessed with what he loved? I totally get it. Yeah, I can tell. I heard that he had a habit of worshipping a statue. Do you know when it started, Mr. Ho? If you're asking about the statue, it's a long story. The quality of our steel products was not stable, so we didn't have a steady flow of funds. Mr. Shen imported a German Siemens Martin furnace and ordered Mr. Lee to improve quality. We thought the problem would be solved, but our steel rails still have quality defects. Mr. Lee placed the burden onto Foreman Ting. Ting made a pledge or promise he would get the job done. So that's when Foreman Ting began worshipping the gods? The statue was originally acquired by Mr. Lee. It was meant to be a symbol of love. Who would have thought that Foreman Ting would become obsessed with worshipping the god? He often closed himself off in the office all day long. He became unusually thin and pale with a withered face, and he kept on mumbling strange things. Oh, he was definitely poisoned. Sounds like he was poisoned! I'm just saying. What did he say? I don't quite remember. Something about Chinese teachings and Western teachings. Interesting. He said to make steel in Hangyang, do as the ancient Hangyars do. I don't get that at all. I regret I haven't paid more attention, otherwise none of this would have happened. You sure about that? Alright, tell me about the incident. Were you present when the incident occurred, Mr. Ho? I was checking inventory and only heard a bang. When I got there, the fire had been put out. I didn't know until after that it was... Okay, when and where was the last time you saw Foreman Ting? I ran into him yesterday evening right around here. It was almost payday, so I was busy verifying the account book. I went to double check workers' attendance with Foreman Ting. But when I met up with Foreman Ting, he still appeared absent-minded. He didn't respond when I called out to him. He walked into the office and locked himself inside. Everyone knows that he locks his door when he's worshipping the gods. You saw him yesterday. Was there anything else unusual about him? Nothing else? No? You sure about that? You sure about that? Oh, now you remember something? Okay. What do you remember? When I ran into him yesterday, he was wearing a headcloth. I've never seen him wear one before. He doesn't usually wear a headcloth? He thinks it's stuffy, so he rarely wears one. This detail deserves attention. Alright, we have Supervisor Ho's testimony. That's it for now, thank you. I'm gonna go ask the Deputy Administrator some questions now. Hello, Mr. Lee. Deputy Administrator Lee. The incident is a serious matter. If there's anything you want to know, Mr. Just ask. Hey, tell me about Foreman Ting. Foreman Ting began working at this ironwork when it was founded. He learned chemistry and steelmaking and also spent time in the laboratory. For the past 6 months, he had been transferred to the factory floor to work as a foreman. Although he was sometimes tough and stubborn, he's always been keen on studying steelmaking. Recently, we imported the most advanced Siemens Martin furnace from Germany. He had been researching on a new method of open hearth steelmaking, but he hadn't found the knack for it yet, and the quality of the last batch was less than ideal. The incident is a serious matter. Alright. The ironworks operation. I heard that there was something wrong with the quality of the steel rails. It's hard to explain. I heard that the hardest part of steelmaking is removing the phosphorus. I don't know what any of this means. Fragmentation easily appears in steel with high phosphorus content. Wasn't this the type of problem you were facing? Seems like Afu knows the ropes. Apparently so. He's useful. Indeed. Due to some reasons, the high quality ores from Day were transferred to Japan. We only got lower grade ores. The Bessemer converter we originally had can't remove phosphorus effectively. So we spent a large sum of money to import the Siemens Martin furnace from Germany. It really takes the painstaking effort of everyone to make good steel. It's only natural that we treat industrial prosperity as our duty. I didn't know there was so much going on with steelmaking. Not that I know anything about steelmaking. Alright, tell me about the incident. Where were you when the incident occurred? I was busy entertaining a guest, so I wasn't on the furnace factory floor. When I got there, the fire had already been put out. Fortunately, no further damage was caused. Although the fire was put out, terrifying rumors began to spread. The workers refused to work. I hope that Mr. Shen is able to uncover the truth as soon as possible. Alright, that's all I got for you for now. Thank you, sir, for your cooperation. I shall keep investigating. Doors are locked off limits to loiterers. I'm not a loiterer, Mr. Patrolman! Why is this door locked? What does that have to do with you? We were entrusted by Deputy Administrator Lee to investigate the Foreman Ting's case. So it's Mr. Detective, and of course I have to help you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Patrolman. However, this room is impure. Impure? Everyone knows deep down how Foreman Ting died. Beware of the shine in that room. We're not scared, let us in have a look. Thank you for your trouble, sir. It's alright, Mr. Patrolman. If ghosts come out, I will take care of it. It really stresses me out having to help you open these doors. Yeah, we need to complete the investigation today, so we're short on time. Let me in. Thinking about opening the door is making my headache. Asking me how he just doesn't want to touch the door because he's scared. I just heard a crisp, pleasant sound ringing out from you two. Could you lend me a hand to refresh my memory? Oh, he wants money. He wants money. Damn, didn't I have to bribe a patrolman to get into a room? Rude AF, bro. Alright, here we go. Although this is just an ordinary statue, after hearing all those rumors, looking at it gives me the chills. It's almost as if Grandpa Ganjan and Grandma Moe are watching me. Huh? Who allowed you to just come in here? Who are you? Who do you think? Is Grandma Moya? No, Afu, calm down. What the hell? Turn on the lights, bro. Young lady, please stop playing tricks. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's so pretty. Who you? You're trying to tease people? Why are the lights off? I just finished investigating and was about to leave. You're the ones who came in unexpectedly. What's wrong? Were you scared, kiddo? Yeah, Afu was scared. I wasn't, though. Then who did you just call Grandma? She looks like a journalist. You know, in every detective game, there has to be a journalist. Investigate what? The falling incident this morning? None of your business, ma'am. Afu! Afu! Stop giving away information! Now she wants to interview us. Promise you give me exclusive coverage. Which newspaper do you work for? I'm a detective, ma'am. Yeah, I'm a detective. This is my assistant, Afu. So you're a detective. I'm Wen Koxin, a journalist from the Shanghai News. However, I don't think there's any chance for Mr. Detective to show off in this case anymore. What do you mean? I'm just about to uncover the truth. Even the headline for tomorrow's paper is drawn up. Exclusive coverage, the whole story of the falling incident at the Hanyang Ironworks. Alright. Yeah, then tell us, what is it? It's fine if you want information, but you have to offer something useful to me in return. Or I could investigate without you. Blah, blah, blah. You start asking me questions now. Okay. I have little patience for small talk. Let's get to the point. Why are you here at the Ironworks? The Ironworks is just won orders from the Zhentai Railway and the Canton Hankou Railway. However, its products were said to have quality problems. It's at the center of a storm. My journalist intuition tells me that there is an opening for a story here. Former glory gone. Hanyang Ironworks endures hardship and news report like that. I see. I was halfway done my draft when this happened. Did I plan to write about Foreman Ting's falling incident? This is definitely a better story. Okay, let's see. Tell us about the incident. What were you doing at the time of the incident, Miss Wen? I was originally planning to take some photos of the factory floor this morning. When I got to the factory floor, I ran into Mr. Lee. He wanted to show me the new metal mixer. It wasn't long after we left the factory floor that we heard an explosion and we hurried back. So she is the guest that the deputy administrator was entertaining, quote unquote. Did you arrange the rope barrier at the site of the incident? That's right. If the site is damaged in any way, the news report might be inaccurate. Alright, thank you. I'm a senior reporter. Alright, let's ask her about the truth. What's the truth that you discovered? You want me to just give you the answers? You know soon enough! Huh? It's getting late. I still need to go to the metal casting platform to get my camera. Excuse me. Don't forget our promise. I forgot our promise. We made a promise? Huh? I guess I missed the promise. Oh well, it'll be fine. Alright, let's investigate. Before we do that, there's some new theories. From the state of the two workers, they don't appear to be lying. Could it be that the shrine really unleashes powers? Do you know of any gas that smells of gunpowder and could harm the respiratory tract? Do you think there was something off about the smoke? Of course I do. The smell of gunpowder usually appears after a firecracker is set off. The firearms made in Hanyang are quite famous, though. Gunpowder doesn't cause a hoarseness of the voice, does it? Generally, it doesn't. How about I give the shrine a kick as well? There's no harm in trying. I prefer not to. What if there actually was a god? Alright, Shen, does wearing a headcloth even count as being suspicious? Wearing a headcloth in the ironworks not only prevent burns, but also reduces water loss. People do not make a change in habits lightly, not unless there's a particular reason. I agree. Alright, so I need to investigate those. Alright, what facts have we learned? What new facts? Oh, we have a lot of new facts. Alright. Siemens-Martin furnace. The Siemens-Martin furnace, also known as an open hearth furnace, is a steel-making furnace named after the inventors Carl Wilhelm Siemens and Pierre-Emile Martin. The open hearth process was developed to enable the use of any proportion of a pig iron and steel scraps as furnace charge to produce various high-quality grades of steel, greatly reducing production costs. However, the disadvantages of the open hearth process were evident. The average operation took too long and the energy consumption was high. As a result, it was replaced by more advanced steelmaking methods in 1970. Alright, what is this? Ganjian and Mo Ye were famous swordsmith couple from the spring and autumn period, 770 to 476 BCE, known for forging two sharp swords named after themselves. Over 1,000 years, many legends have evolved around them. In the spring and autumn annuals of Wu and Yue, when Ganjian was commissioned by King Helu of Wu to forge a sword and encountered the problem of the metal now melting, he was at a loss. Mo Ye mentioned for divine objects to transform, they require human involvement. Recalling his master Oyezi, who once sacrificed himself to the furnace when facing the same issue, resulting in a successful forging, both decided to cut their hair and nails and cast them into the furnace, thereby crafting two divine weapons. Okay, sure. Bessemer converter. The Bessemer converter is a steelmaking furnace named after its inventor Harry Bessemer. The steelmaking process derived from it is known as the Bessemer process, which laid the foundation of modern steelmaking workmanship and marked the evolution of early industrial revolution from the Iron Age to the Steel Age. However, since this craft uses acidic material as furnace walls, it was unable to effectively remove phosphorus, sulfur, and other impurities in steel, so it gradually faded out from history. What is this? Gezi studies. Gezi, or the investigation of things to extend knowledge, originates from the phrase the great learning. To extend knowledge to the utmost, one must investigate the principles of things. Principle of things? Refers to acquiring knowledge through the exploration of the nature of things. In the late Qing Dynasty, Gezi studied it broadly encompassed disciplines such as mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology. In 1875, Shanghai Polytechnic Institution, an early institution for cultivating scientific talent in China, was established. The following year, British scholar John Fry and Chinese scientist Xu Shou founded the Chinese Scientific Journal, the Chinese Scientific Magazine, facilitating the spread of scientific knowledge in China. Railways in the late Qing Dynasty. Oh, right, they won contracts. By the end of the Qing Dynasty, the Qing government gradually came to accept railway despite them being a foreign product. The Kanto-Hankou Railway, stretching for more than 1,000 kilometers, taking 6 years to construct, was one of the longest railways that took the most time to establish. The Zhangtai Railway in-game, also known as the Shitai Railway, refers to the railway line from Shijiazhuang to Taiyuan, most of which was designed and built by the Chinese themselves. It is worth mentioning that the railways constructed in the late Qing Dynasty formed the basic framework for China railways. Let's see. Alright, now that we're done with a history lesson, let's take a look at the map. It's the floor map for the factory floor. The map looks quite new. It was probably put up not long ago. A working drum of the open hearth furnace is pasted right beside it. On the wall of the open hearth workshop office hangs two drawing furnace construction plan and map of the floor. Board of name badges. He's a board made of copper with several rows of hooks on it. Looks like workers need to hang their name badges on this board when they're on duty. Interesting. Alright, let's take a look at the desk. The desk is clean, but the inkstone is covered with dust. It hasn't been used for a long time. Blueprints of imported furnace are under the paperweight. Also documents in foreign languages. All in German that I do not read. These papers are covered in handwritten notes. It seems like Formantin put in a lot of work. The craftsman who studies technology and reads foreign documents be superstitious? It's hard to say. My idol, Mr. Newton, was a devout follower of the theological old age. You should record the condition of the desk first. Alright. Miss Webb mentioned going to the metal casting platform to get her camera back. Could it be that she caught something shocking on camera? You need to go to the metal casting platform to speak with those who witnessed the incident. Okay, but I'm not done. You can go later. Wall clock! It's a Western wall clock over here. The engravings say that this was a gift from Wuhan Chamber of Commerce for water transport. Interesting. Code of practice! Code of practice rule number 1, leaving without permission during work hours is prohibited. Rule number 2, name badges must be hung on the board during working hours. Rule number 3, all of the materials used in production shall be managed by the foreman. Rule number 4, those who are absent from work will be fined 7 days in wages. Oh, damn! Harsh. Harsh. Alright, shrine. Here's the shrine. Shrine is dedicated to the statue of Ganjan and Mo Ye. The shrine is made of rosewood, also holds an incense burner and 2 candlesticks. A copper incense burner with 3 sticks of incense placed vertically. Anything else? Office door. The dock is right outside these doors. We'll go after we finish investigating the case. Alright, that's all we're gonna do. What we're gonna deal with for now here. Now we gotta go to the floor. We'll reach the metal casting platform and go up from here. Alright, sent to the metal casting area. What's over here? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Foreman Ting's behavior. Judging from the previous investigation, Foreman Ting was obsessed with steel-making technology. Then again, all oddities related to the shrine also indicate that he was worshipping a statue. Maybe he was just too focused on achieving success. That's why he decided to go to extremes. Or perhaps the statue holds a different meaning for him. Alright, we will find out. Scorched camera. There's a camera over here. This probably belongs to Miss Wen. Completely burned. What a waste of a good camera. Alright, so to Ochan Awu. Why do people keep coming up here? I just shoot away a woman and now 2 more guys show up. It's time for us to start casting ingots to go back down right now. Yeah, it's the detectives! You have to speak more politely. Is that Alwyn his master? My apologies for disturbing you both. I still have a few more questions to ask. Alright, let's ask about Foreman Ting. What do the 2 of you think of Foreman Ting? We don't have any particular thoughts about the foreman. He got what he deserved. There's nothing more to say about a damn. Ah, woo, have a little more delicacy. It's rude to speak ill of the dead. Seems that the 2 of you don't like Foreman Ting very much. From his point of view, anything anyone else did was always wrong. He just didn't like us. There's no fault in the foreman having me strict with his demands. Everyone did as he said, but the last batch of steel rails still got screwed up. It's just picking holes. Is anything okay? Tell me about the incident. Were you 2 the ones who witnessed the process of Foreman Ting's falling incident this morning? If it could trouble you to please tell me what happened, what you saw and heard. This was the first trial production since the furnace was shut down and renovated. Just when we began casting, Awu suddenly said the foreman is watching us. There he was, standing next to the outlet. Molten steel was coming out, yet he didn't mind the heat. Are you sure that the person you saw at the time was Foreman Ting? I'm sure he was leaning on the railing at the time. He looked spiritless and he kept staring downward. You did not notice Foreman Ting before this moment? No, he just appeared there out of the blue. The railings are super hot when molten steel is pouring out, but he didn't care at all. If he wasn't possessed by something, then he was already dead, most likely. Said earlier that when you saw Foreman Ting molten steel was coming out. Did you see Foreman Ting or anyone else open the molten steel outlet shutter? No. When we began casting, both molten steel outlets were closed. I remember clearly. I don't know who did it. It wasn't the time to open the shutter yet. Then I just watched the railing that he was leaning on disappear. Disappeared? You mean the railing broke off and fell into the molten steel along with him? No, it disappeared, just vanished into thin air. I was watching the entire time. I didn't see anything else fall in. Interesting. Did you also see the railing suddenly disappear? I didn't see it as vividly as Awu did, but Foreman was indeed leaning against the railing, and then he suddenly fell into the ladle. It exploded and fire was everywhere. When I looked again, he was no longer there and there was no railing either. Did you notice anything unusual about him this morning? He was wearing a headcloth that he usually doesn't wear, nothing else. Saw it too. Gentlemen, we're about to start casting soon. Just go back down already. Don't be in our way. Alright. Slide 2D, so smooth. So smooth. We're watching them cast ingots. I don't even know what an ingot is. I don't even know what an ingot is. I'm guessing it's like a metal brick of some sort. Too dangerous to stay here. Okay. Hello, patrolman. Mr. Lee's waiting for you in the office. He said that progress has been made in the case, so he's asking to meet up with you. Ari never played Minecraft. Shaking my head. I haven't. You know, I was yesterday's old when I found out that you had to pay for Minecraft. I thought it was just a free game, but apparently I have to pay a subscription to play it. I did not know this. I've already finished the investigation. Time to discuss with Mr. Deputy Administrator. We have? Alright, Shen is way ahead of me. Things seems to be getting stranger and stranger. We still haven't figured out how Foreman Ting appeared out of thin air. Two more oddities, the disappearance of the railing and the sudden opening of the shutter. Even if Foreman Ting was able to avoid old Lee, it would be quite difficult for him to be unseen by old Chow and Awu. How exactly could this have been achieved? I bet the elevator was involved, but we'll see. Anything's free on the 7 seas! I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Investigations have come to a temporary close. Shall we discuss them with Deputy Administrator Lee? Sure, why not? Miss Wen has already uncovered the whole story of the incident. Let's listen to it together. Oh. Oh. Miss Wen thinks of herself as a detective, huh? Please tell us about your findings. She's very pretty, though. Ting's death wasn't caused by ghosts, nor was it an accident. It was actually suicide. Suicide? It's out of the question. Today is the pivotal moment for the trial production of the Siemens Martin furnace. Ting was engrossed in this affair. There's no way he would kill himself today of all days. It is precisely because of today's importance that he chose to commit suicide. Why is that? All these years, Foreman Ting has been obsessed with studying steelmaking technology. He proposed a method that was said to greatly reduce the cost of production. As a result, the Hanyang Ironworks began to receive large orders for steel rails. However, at this crucial moment, severe quality problems with the steel rails were exposed. Ting shouldn't have carried all the blame. It was mainly due to the high phosphorus content in the coke that was used. To solve this problem, he made a pledge to improve the technique once more. However, each and every child production ended in failure. In desperation, he had no choice but to turn to superstition and legend. What happened this morning was actually a planned suicide or more like a sacrifice. You know, Miss Wen, I don't think you should be a journalist. I think you should become a novelist. Because you just made a whole lot of nothing up based on supposed evidence. I mean, it's not a bad theory, but do you have any hard evidence? Could it be that I put too much pressure on him? I doubt it. This will be the next headline of my news report. Miss Wen, you seem absolutely sure that Foreman Ting committed suicide. Do you have evidence? Of course. Alright, give it to me. I found Foreman Ting's suicide note on the office desk. Wait, did you remove evidence? Such precious news material will obviously need to be protected. I was afraid this clue would be lost, so I took it for safekeeping. How could the Countess hiding evidence? Well, you're not the police! You're also not... What, huh? Is she okay? She's tampered with the crime scene? She's just like, I'm holding up for safekeeping! What? Give me the letter. There's nothing special about it anyway. For many years, I've given me all to try and make good steel. Nevertheless, all of my attempts and methods have ended in failure. It seems that I should follow the example of Ganjian and Mo Ye. Sacrificing myself to the furnace will surely move the hearts of the god. The last words of Ting Ta Bang written in the office of the furnace factory floor. Sus! It really is a suicide note. Your Honor, the handwriting does look like Foreman Ting. Hold! You didn't damage the evidence, didn't you? Of course not. I already know where they're going with this. Go and draft an announcement. Hold, please! Announce the holster of this inquiry. Hold! Yeah, hold, please! Excuse me! Yeah, something's questioned about this letter. It's very problematic. What's wrong with it? I don't know, Miss Journalist! Maybe if you use your powers of observation and some story writing, you'd see the problem with it. There is a detail in this letter that conflicts with the existing evidence. I shall review the letter one sentence at a time and question the problematic ones. And I shall compare the questionable content with the evidence we have already collected. If I'm able to find evidence that contradicts the content of the letter, I shall present it to you. Alright. Problem on the suicide note. For many years, I've given my all to try and make good steel. Nevertheless, all of my attempts and methods have ended in failure. It seems that I should follow the example of Ganjian and Mo Ye. Sacrificing myself to the furnace will surely move the hearts of the gods. The last words of Ting Tai Fung written in the office of the furnace factory floor. Interesting how he can write this on his desk when his inkstone hasn't been used in forever. Does Miss Wen believe that Foreman Ting wrote the suicide note in the office? This letter was written with the calligraphy brush. It was written on the desk in this office. Yeah. Miss Wen? Miss Wen, maybe you should stick with writing stories after the facts being proven. Have you ever paid attention to the inkstone on the office desk? The suicide note is indeed written with a calligraphy brush. It also mentions written in the office at the end. However, the only inkstone in the office is dry has accumulated a layer of dust. Evidently, has not been used in a long time. There is an evident contradiction. This letter could not have been written at the office. My pet peeve is people who's journalists running with the facts before the facts are proven. Ironworks are always dusty, so it's normal for dust to accumulate. He would have written this morning, or yesterday, or whenever, right before he jumped. You think dust's gonna collect that fast? If there's barely any dust on the desk, not to mention the shrine's completely spotless. This is thus clear that only the inkstone has not been used in a long time. Well, what? What does Foreman Ting carry the brush and ink around with him? Does he look like the type? Who in the world would carry inkstone around? Is Mr. Detective going to dismiss the possibility? Ma'am? Miss Wen, you are welcome to make such an assumption. However, there's one detail on this letter that contradicts the signature. Now I don't know. Hang on. Where did my mouse go? I lost my mouse. And I'll continue. Yeah, Muto. She's cute, but she's low-key pissing me off. Mouseless behavior. My mouse goes into sleep mode if I don't use it for a hot minute. So I have to, like, get it alive again, and then it, like, disappears usually. So I'm always like, where's my mouse after like 5 minutes? Hang on, okay. Point out the place that contradicts with the signature. What signature? I'm a bit confused. I need a hint. Now, if the suicide note was written in the office, a certain mark would not be present. If the suicide note was written in the office, a certain mark would not be present. Oh, why was it folded? I don't know. You're saying there's something wrong with the creases? Precisely. Miss Wen said that she had specially kept the letter as it was to prevent damaging evidence. Oh, that's right! It was written on the table. Why was it folded? Therefore, Miss Wen was not the one who caused these creases. That's right, I didn't make those creases. So why would he fold it if he wrote it on the desk? When you discovered the letter, it was lying flat out on the surface of the office desk. So, there are creases on the letter. Usually a letter is folded so that it's more convenient to carry. If this letter was truly written by Foreman Ting in the office before he committed suicide, why would he fold it? Why would he go through the trouble of folding it? You know, this is funny. I'm pretty sure this is inspired by Catch Me If You Can, the movie. Because the character that Leonardo DiCaprio plays, when he was in school, there's a scene where he's in school at the nurse's office, and he tells this girl to fold her sick note. Because if there's no creases on it, and she didn't fold it, that means she wrote it herself right before going to the nurse's office. Versus, if her parents wrote it and gave it to her, she would have folded it to keep it in her pocket. You know, this game is very clever. Yeah, Miss Wen? Maybe he wrote this letter somewhere else. Oh, the letter! He literally said he wrote it here. But the letter clearly states that it was written in the office on the furnace factory floor. That's true. Could it be the suicide note was forged? What do you think, Afu? That is correct. Someone's trying to cover the truth of Foreman Ting's death. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. What need is there to cover up Foreman Ting's death? The workers clearly saw him jump into the furnace. Could it be possible that the workers who witnessed the incident are hiding something? Go and bring all the workers who were present at the time of the incident for questioning. Oh no, the patrolman also looks sus. Does this man not have the face of a suspicious person? I'm just saying. But I'm sus of everyone, so. You still haven't completely convinced me about the problem of the suicide note. You know, Miss Wen, Miss Journalist, I don't question how you write your articles. You don't question how I do my job, okay? Alright, go sit in your corner where you belong. Muto, this girl's low-key pissing me off. She's so cute, though. Why she gotta piss me off like this? None of us can accurately predict the state of mind of a person before their death. It's also possible that Ting wrote the letter somewhere else and left in the office. Why would he do that? Although this is highly unlikely, it possibly does exist. We should not make conclusions based on a single piece of evidence. Let's discuss it later. Just because it's a possibility doesn't mean that, you know, we can't explore other avenues. Let's put the matter of the suicide note on hold and discuss other doubts first. O-chan and Awu are here. Alright. It's the two stooges. The two of you need to recall the events of this morning once more. Don't omit any details. Yeah. Yeah, O-chan knows what's up. Answer the questions properly. Thank you. Alright, testimony regarding what O-chan and Awu saw. At the time, my master and I were in the middle of casting ingots. I suddenly saw the foreman Ting is resting against the railing next to outlet number 2. When Awu informed me of what he saw, I noticed that the shutter behind foreman Ting was open. So the outlet shutter opened at the same time as the appearance of the foreman? I think he probably opened it himself? Seconds after, Ting suddenly dived forward. Right after that, Lalado exploded. There's one contradiction with the statements that is related to this evidence. Well, that's not possible because the lever points the other direction. Okay. My master and I were in the middle of casting ingots. Suddenly, I saw the foreman Ting. He was resting against the railing next to outlet number 2. I noticed the outlet shutter behind Ting was open. He likely opened it himself. How? He's on this side! The lever's on that side! It was impossible for foreman Ting to open the outlet shutter by himself. He could not have been the only person on site. Why not? The lever is very long. To pull it, one must stand on the other side of the molten steel basin. However, when they saw Ting, they also found the outlet shutter open. This could not be achieved by one person alone. It might not have been completely simultaneous. After all, Awu and I weren't staring at the other side the entire time. Could a foreman Ting just pull open the shutter and sprint to the ladle? No, he could not, because this was present on site. Oh, he would have had to go around. After foreman Ting pulled the letter, he must have stepped over the basin to reach the falling spot. However, once the outlet shutters opened, the basin will be filled with molten steel of 1,600 Celsius. A person could not possibly pass through. To reach the spot he died from, Ting had to pass through the charging area behind the furnaces. This could not be achieved in a short amount of time. Perhaps foreman Ting opened the outlet shutter beforehand? And it was only a coincidence that O-chan and Awu didn't see him do it? You know, Miss Wei, you really ought to be a fantasy novel author. Because what is this what-if game you're playing? The outlet shutter was closed the whole time before the incident. I'm not lying. Like, how would they not know? It's literally right in front of them. Even if old Chow and I would possibly missighting him. When Ting passed through the refilling area, he was bound to run into the furnace charger old Lee. How do we explain the fact that old Lee was completely oblivious to Ting's appearance? Or did the 5 ghosts transported him? Did the shrine unleash its powers? I doubt that. Calm down. Ghosts and gods are not at work here. The will of a person is. I agree. One other person must have been present at the scene of Foreman Ting's falling incident. The face of this... Loki looks like the Conan culprit. The moment Foreman Ting leaned against the railing, a person pulled open the outlet shutter. What? With Ocha and Awu watching him from in front of the furnace and Oli working in the back. If there really was another person on site, how could they possibly remain undetected? By using this piece of evidence, they would be able to conceal themselves tactfully. I guess if they were behind the ladle. If that person wanted to conceal their tracks, all they had to do was utilize the ladle. Shannon's talking about a visual blind spot. Yes, I mean, the so-called blind spot is a refer to an area that cannot be seen. Yes, Supervisor Ho. I'm so glad your English is up to par. This ladle is 2 meters tall and 1.5 meters diameter. It would definitely block their vision. Yeah. Common game tactic. But my master and I were standing in different places when we were casting. One of us will always be looking at the other side. Not if they're right behind it. Oh, Chow, where were you and Awu standing during this task? What was your distance from the ladle? Usually, I stand on the left side of the ladle and Awu stands next to me. We're close to it. I've observed the two of you working from metal casting platform. Both of you have blind spots when you are working, and your blind spot intersect each other. I mean, yeah, obviously, right behind the ladle. That is where the suspect hid themselves. My master and I don't just stand there. When the ladle moves, we move along with it. We see them once we start working. Then the person moves with the ladle! The reason why you would not be able to see the suspect is because the suspect moved with the ladle. Is this not obvious? Have you guys... I was gonna say, have you guys not played video games? Then I realized this was set in, like, the 1960s. It is quite simple. By moving alongside the ladle, they could continuously stay in the blind spot. What? As long as they can't see the workers won't be able to see them. The face of this culprit is so funny. Because the path of light is reversible. Alright. This was published in an all-about column. I'm sure readers will be interested. Yeah, maybe... I don't know, Miss Wen. I think maybe you should stop being, you know... Maybe... I feel like you have more potential to be a novelist than a journalist. However, I'm afraid Mr. Detective forgot that Ting's falling caused an explosion. Yeah? If there was another person on the platform at the time, how could they survive? Yet there was no other casualties in the falling incident today. How do you explain that? I believe the suspect could have hidden here. I don't know, I'm guessing here. The passageway on the right side of Furnace 2 was not affected. They could hide here. Hidden behind the ladle, they were not far from the passageway when the explosion occurred. While Ting's appearance caught the attention of the workers, they hid inside the passageway. Sounds like the suspect not only knows steelmaking, but also knows people well. I agree. But that still doesn't seem right. What is it? What other problems are you aware of? I'd be happy to answer them. I clearly saw Ting leaning on the railing. He topped over because it suddenly disappeared. If the shine didn't unleash his powers, how could the railing suddenly disappear? Railings won't disappear into thin air. Yeah, ghost stone doesn't exist in this world either. I kind of agree with you, Journalist Wham, but you know, I make a living bring the dead back to life, so I can't really concur with the second part. But let's keep going, for the sake of the game. I saw with my own eyes. I'm almost sure that you saw things incorrectly. It's easy for people's memory to get confused when they're nervous or afraid. No, he didn't see wrong. I think I know where... Are you so sure that Awu was mistaken? When I was taking photos yesterday evening, the railing was already missing. Oddly, the first list charger was the only person on duty last night. He claims that he didn't install any railings. If you don't believe me, look at this photo. So that's where the powder came from. There really is no railing above the ladle. But I saw him leaning against the railing. Stop sticking your neck out. Too much talk is always a loss. Now, old Chow knows what's up. Mr. Shen, there wasn't a railing above the ladle. That means that Ting stood there by himself. The workers are also absolutely certain that there wasn't anyone around him. And how did he fall into the ladle? Don't worry, I have an answer for that. Shut up. Y'all need to calm down. I know exactly where the disappearing railing came from. Why can't anybody just let me do all the talking? They sound so dumb right now. This is the powder that Afu found near the railing. This powder is actually grayish-white particles that have a lingering pungent smell. This is the residue of a burnt substance. We've only found it at the site of the incident. This indeed doesn't look like something used in seal making. We believe that the suspect set up some kind of mechanism on site that caused Ting's falling. I never thought that the story behind a falling incident could be so complicated. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you use your brain and look at evidence and facts instead of making up stories in your head. A mechanism is quite newsworthy. So what kind of mechanism was it exactly? Well, we still need some time to investigate that. I have seen a number of Western machines, strange and intricate things that left me in awe. The mechanism you speak of can be restored. This whole incident will basically make sense. Alright. Ghosts and gods were not at work here, but machinery caused it all. However, there is still one thing that I can't understand. The series of plans were quite complicated and required the cooperation of Foreman Ting. Why would Foreman Ting be at the mercy of another? I'm afraid he is already dead. I'm afraid that Foreman Ting at the time, come to harm. How is that so? Awu claimed that he saw Foreman Ting leaning against the railing, staring directly downwards. Exactly. They didn't witness a murder. They witnessed the disposal of a body. The railings were burning hot, but it did not matter to him because he could not feel anymore. His eyes were not looking down, but instead closed. This already explains why Foreman Ting did not jump down, but instead dive forward. Therefore, I suspect this was a murder. Then, Your Honor, we need to conduct another round of investigation. Although we have a preliminary deduction of the suspect's MO, there are still many mysteries. Like how the suspect left the scene, as well as the suspect's identity and their motive. We have no clue at all at the moment. Ting is stubborn and has offended many people, but he is a diligent man who shouldn't have suffered such misfortune. At present, the ironworks can't afford to be delayed any further. Your Honor, the nature of a homicide is different. If the villain commits more crimes, the ironworks will lose even more. If there's no conclusion by tomorrow morning, you may draft an announcement to calm public opinion. Alright, journalists will finally say something of value. Thank you. Besides, I believe Mr. Teg will come to the truth before tomorrow morning. Oh, thank you for your faith. Thank you. Alright, maybe I like you a little more now. And let's act according to Miss Wen's suggestion. Why is Miss Wen on our side all of a sudden? Afu, you have no idea how big of a story it would be. She doesn't seem to mind that she lost you either. Yeah. Who said this was competition? She just wants a bigger story. The news should be more important to Miss Wen. Exactly. How about this? Falling incident shrouded with mystery. Detective tries to uncover a conspiracy. No, say what you will. Girl knows how to write a headline. What should we do next? The foreman Ting had already come to harm when the falling incident occurred. We need to find the real scene of the crime. That proves that the second floor furnace area is most likely not the primary crime scene. We need to think of a way to find the primary crime scene. Alright. Let's see. Disappearing railing. These particles only appear at the site of the incident, likely related to some mechanism. Do you remember what it is? Not yet, but it smells really familiar. I'll keep an eye out for it in the ironworks. Okay. Even if the suspect used the ladle to stay undercover and avoided the sight of Old Chow and Ah Wu, how were they able to leave the scene completely undetected? Excellent question. After the incident, workers were fighting the fire in front of the furnace. They would have seen them if they walked out from the front. I believe the safest choice would be the elevator in the charging area behind the furnace. But Oli said that he didn't see anyone. Unless we need to reinvestigate the surrounding of the charging area. Alright, Foreman Ting's relationships. It's really unpopular, nobody likes him. It feels like everyone has a motive. Okay, but that's alright, we need to talk more. Nobody in the office's top seat. There's no way to know what unforeseen mishap Foreman Ting ran into. How was supposed to find the primary crime scene? We don't even know if he was already dead or in a state of unconsciousness before he fell. We need to broaden the scope of our investigation. Let's look into places Foreman Ting had been to before the incident. Alright. The game has given some clues as to how to proceed. Store leads to the backyard. Let's head over there and take a look. Alright, so there's some steel ingot. According to Afu, the remains of the deceased will not be within them. It's the table the supervisor was working on earlier. This is the desk that Supervisor Ho moved temporarily. There's a headcloth on the desk. Supervisor Ho was using it to bag the money. There's an account book next to it. Let me take a look. Oli's wages were deducted a lot. The reason is because he skipped work multiple times. Ao's wages were the second most deducted for being late. Oh Chow's also have been deducted. These are circumstances worth keeping in mind. Alright. The map looks quite new. Okay, let's take a look at the map again. Alright. Let's talk to the deputy administrator. Foreman Ting repeatedly asked me to invite the gods in and I couldn't argue with him. He was quite concerned about this and even built the shrine by himself. Who would know that after the gods were invited in, all these terrible things would happen? So Foreman Ting built the shrine and the altar by himself. We didn't check the altar beneath the shrine earlier. No matter, feel free to investigate it. Alright, as long as you can solve the case as soon as possible. Alright, let's examine the shrine! Behind the altar is a secret compartment. How do I zoom out? Where's the secret compartment? Oh! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! secret compartment. Here we come. Alright, let's see what's in here. Oh! There's a lot of containers and reagents in the secret compartment. Appears this is the true secret of the shrine. There are 3 bottles placed on the shelf, one of which has been sealed at the mouth. The 2 pieces of steel soaked in reagents seems to have been corroded. One of the labels says sample made by pig iron burned with coal from Westphalia. The other label says sample made by a mixture of Chinese coke breeze and anthracite. There's a black mark on the petition board that feels hollow to the touch. It's the result of corrosion. What's up here? A crucible, an iron frame, a funnel, beaker, a conical flask, a dropper. These are all common appliances used for chemical experiments that are placed on the shelf. What's down here? Ammonia, sodium hydroxide. There are all kinds of reagents placed on the shelf. Okay. Explains why the white powder made the kids sick. Okay. Taking a look at the secret compartment. What an ult is so simple in structure that doesn't even have a drawer. There are 3 sticks of incense placed vertically on the incense burner. A statue of Ganjan and Mo Ye. It's just a normal statue with no mechanism of secret compartment. There's a half a still red candle on the candlestick that has already been put out. There's something I haven't looked at yet, and I'm not sure what it is. Oh, what's this? It's a gunpowder smell. This bottle contains concentrated nitric acid. Oh, that's what made the kid sick. I didn't expect there was a whole set of chemical appliances hidden within the shrine. So he was actually secretly conducting experiments instead of worshipping gods. I never knew any of this. Mr. Deputy Administrator, would it be possible to ask you a few more questions? Alright, about the appliances. Have you ever seen these chemical appliances in the shrine? I never knew that he was secretly conducting experiments. However, these appliances look like the ones used in the laboratory in the backyard. Is it possible the foreman borrowed these from the laboratory? Can't be sure, but foreman team used to be the assistant Mr. Robinson, the chemist here. Later on, when we needed a foreman on the factory floor, Mr. Robinson recommended him. It's not true that he's overqualified for the job as a foreman. It is indeed more laborious and dangerous to work on the factory floor than in a laboratory. However, he had great enthusiasm for steelmaking. I recall you once said that he had always been studying open hearth steelmaking technology. He wanted to improve the formulation of steel to reduce cost and increase efficiency. The minerals obtained by our ironworkers are mostly phosphate rocks left over by the Japanese. To produce good steel, we had to buy pricey phosphorus-free coke from the foreigners. Not only are production costs high, the quality has always been unstable. After we use open hearth process, the production quality is improved, but cost is still high. Team suggested replacing foreign coke with a mixture of Pingshan coke, breeze, and anthracite. The steel would then be refined in the open hearth furnace as phosphorus is removed. The open hearth process uses the alkaline furnace, which is good at removing phosphorus. Nevertheless, this has nothing to do with the chemical appliance in the shrine. Alright. Tell me more about his suggestions. I heard from the workers that there was a problem with the batch of the product. King's methods reduced cost by 1/3. We also did some tests on its mechanical properties. The results are good. Therefore, we trial produced a batch of steel rails. Good quality and low prices help us get orders from many railways. That's when things went wrong. Indeed. The test report from London came back saying that there were quality problems with our product. The report said that the carbon content of the steel was too low to be durable. The phosphorus content was too high and it has prospects of fragmentation. As a result, the construction company for the railways refused to accept our steel rails. The public also accused us of cutting corners in such an important matter. I felt so ashamed. I'm sure Foreman Ting was also under a lot of stress. Sounds like someone was sabotaging you. Perhaps the material used wasn't what was supposed to be put in. After the incident, Foreman Ting's condition hadn't been so good, so he was actually secretly conducting experiments instead of worshiping gods. Alright, thank you. We'll keep investigating. That was very helpful. Needed that information. No, the principle behind the shrine unleashing its powders is related to the chemical reagents inside the cabinet. Exactly. The so-called powder of the shrine is actually chemical smoke. I would probably have knocked over certain reagents causing a reaction to produce smoke. You think of the specific chemical reaction? Whether the workers actually perceive smoke or fog. Remember when Awu kicked the shrine? I bet he accidentally knocked over the concentrating nitric acid in the cabinet. The acid has a gunpowder smell. When it evaporates, it produces a yellowish white smoke. If that is the case, then Awu felt ill because he inhaled acid? Yes, nitric acid harms the respiratory tract. Awu was close by. He probably inhaled a lot. They are afraid of ghosts and don't know chemistry. It's easy for them to be superstitious. That was a good deduction. Thanks, Afu. Alright. Apparently, worshipping the shrine behind closed doors was just a cover. Foreman Ting was actually conducting some kind of chemical experiment in secret. But there's a laboratory in the factory. Why didn't he just go there to conduct experiments? Obviously, he did not want anyone to know. He must have had a reason. I think he was suspicious that they're being sabotaged. Or the material is not what is being claimed. Alright. This is monument. This monument was erected when Hanyang Ironworks was first put into operation. At the time, there were quite a few foreign engineers who came to work at the ironworks. Okay. What's over here? Burlap sack. These gunny sacks are filled with lime. Alright. Objects under the tarp. I'm sure it's pig iron underneath this tarp. Let's take a look-see. This isn't pig iron? There are rubber blocks piled underneath here. A large quantity of rubber. Is there a need for rubber in the process of steelmaking? Not at all. These rubber blocks belong to Mr. Lee. They're just temporarily stacked here. Under our feet. These are scraps of rubber. That means someone processed rubber blocks here. Alright, let's talk to the patrolman that I think is us. We're still investigating and there's some questions I want to ask you. However, we're short on time, so we hope that you can be straight with us. Oh no, he wants more money. With the murderous suspect on the loose in the ironworks, Mr. Lee's already troubled enough. If there's anything you want to know, you can't try asking me. Alright, maybe he doesn't want money. Did Foreman Ting ever had a problem with anyone? There's quite a few. Let's count Awin first. It's because Foreman Ting was strict and paid Awu's wages late? Not entirely. Ting was stricter with Awu more than he was with anyone else, so Awu hated him. Foreman Ting came from the backwater countryside and was the youngest in his family. In the past 2 years, his family died of illness or old age. He was the last one left. He was also an old bachelor. There's no one to even handle his funeral affairs. Awu was also born to a poor family. He's clever. Everyone knows Ting treated him like his son. Alas, it's regrettable that Ting was obsessed with steelmaking. He was not considerate at all. Obviously, he meant well, but sometimes his words sounded harsh and mean. That's why Awu kicked over his shrine a while ago. So Foreman Ting was really quite alone. It sounds so pitiful. Other than Awu, who else did Foreman Ting have a dispute with? Old Lee is also quite stubborn, so these two stubborn old men often fought. Also, a while back, Foreman Ting even beat up that foreman boss from the laboratory. Thanks to his bad temper, he lost his job in the lab and became a labor foreman here. Oh, damn. Wait, what? Alright, you may look sus, patrolman, but you got all the tea, and I like that. There's a uniform over here. Looks really dirty and it's all covered in rust. Only a worker in the charging area can make their clothes this dirty. Do you know whom this clothing belongs to? You can ask around and see which worker came by the warehouse today. Are you sure this uniform was discarded today? I just cleaned this place up with old Chow and the others last night before we got off work. The situation is worth recording. Very important clue right here! A file, a screwdriver, a saw, a wrench. There are a lot of tools placed on top of this chest. Oh, the elevator's right here? What's wrong, Mr. Patrolman? Can't go through. This elevator leads to the second floor. The conveyor door is locked. Even if you went up, you'd have to come back down. I see. So the elevator leads out to here, huh? Interesting! My spidey senses are tingling. Once I saw those rubber blocks, I understood everything. The pungent grayish-white powder we found on site was the residue from the burning of rubber. You mean to say that the murderer had set up a rubber rod there as a railing? The rubber I have seen in the past is soft and incapable of supporting the weight of a person. What we found in the warehouse was not just ordinary rubber, but vulcanized hard rubber. At ambient temperature, it can sustain a person's weight and won't easily become deformed. But once the outlet shutters open and the temperature close by rises rapidly, the rubber will then soften and deform, causing Foreman Ting to topple over. From a distance, it would seem like the railing had suddenly disappeared. It appears the murderer is very familiar with what is stored inside the warehouse. Alright, more clue! Oh my! This laboratory is huge. Hello, Supervisor Ho. Speak of the devil. I was just telling Mr. Robinson about you to detectives. You have a few questions we would like to ask, Mr. Robinson. Of course, allow me to introduce you. This is Mr. Robinson, a chemist from England. He's also the head of this laboratory. Mr. Robinson, this is Mr. Shen. Beside him is his assistant, Afu. Mr. Shen, I did hear thy deductions are marvelous! This case is still under investigation, so your cooperation would be greatly appreciated. Be truth... No. If it be truth that is aught I can hope thee with, pray thee to let me know it. Wait. Is this English? Is this English? Yeah, Alpha's really interested in chemistry, Mr. Robinson. If there are some experiments that come to mind, can I borrow your laboratory table? Aye, aye. Alright. Alright, let's take a look at the appliance cabinet. The variety of reagents are displayed in this cabinet. Hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, ammonia, hydrogen peroxide. They really do have everything. Afu, what kind of experiments are these reagents used for? They're mainly used to test the composition of minerals and steel. I see. Huh? You're right there? Fine, I just remembered a few unpleasant memories. Oh, your brother. It just found a bottle of reagent that's quite rare. Perhaps it can be of use. Laboratory table. There's several test tubes in the scale on the laboratory table. Portrait on the wall. It's a portrait of Yangtze Dong. This design advocates education and industry. He's a person I admire greatly. Alright, let's take a look at the desk. Stack of documents, a bottle of ink, and a quill pen are placed on the desk. It's a chemical test report for steel. Steel in this report is made by using coal from Westphalia. All indexes are up to standard. Steel in this report was made by a mixture of Chinese coke breeze and anthrax. What a shame, due to the high phosphorus content, fragmentation easily appears in the steel. Interesting how there's a writing desk here, where one may write a fake suicide note. But what do I know? A complete account of iron manufacture, electricity, the bookshelf is full of technical books. The remaining documents are all in foreign languages. Nature philosophy is the first book I read about the study of physics. Another brazier? There's some paper ashes in the brazier that seems to have burnt out not long ago. Does brazier bring back some bad memories? Yes, well. Alright, is that everything I can investigate for now? Alright, let's talk to Mr. Robinson. Okay, tell me about yourself. Mr. Robinson, could I ask you to give us an introduction to the task of a chemist? To be able to smelt metals, 'tis behoveful to understand it in the composition of the minerals. There's no way this man is speaking English. Ere deciding the ingredients, proportions, and which refining process to use it. Mr. Robinson is saying, before steel making, we need to know the composition of the minerals. Then we decide on the ingredients, proportions, and which refining process to use. He is responsible for running tests on the composition of various minerals through chemistry. So Mr. Robinson is also in charge of chemical testing for the quality of the steel rails, right? We doth not have to ask to explore the calibers of steel rails. I understood what he said. The Ironworks laboratory does not have the credentials to run tests on steel rails. Railway constructors, mainly foreign companies, have their own preferred testing institutions. The test reports issued by our Ironworks are unable to get approved. Thee speaketh the truth, ho! Alright, tell me about Foreman Ting. I heard that he once served as your assistant. Why was he transferred to the factory floor? Ting was very talented. I applaud his contribution as mine aid. He did doth help me in many ways, and in return I eke did give him bounteous rewards. So he did maketh an unforgivable prison. He was the cut purse. He did steal my notes, which did have multitudinous data of the essence. He eke did steal laboratory instruments, then did return them the next morn. Oh me, the gods, doth he truly bethink yonder I would not find it out. Everything hither hath a fixed placement. I did know it of his trickery aforetime. Sounds like Foreman Ting just wanted to gain more knowledge. The lab hath its own rules. I doth not like people who doth not follow the rules. I must go to work within the factory floor wasn't the superior answer for Ting. Okay, that's all we got. Talk to Mr. Ho, Supervisor Ho, who I'm sus of. You seem to be quite familiar with Mr. Robinson. I speak a bit of Mr. Robinson's language, so sometimes I can help him with communications. Mr. Robinson is a very interesting person. I really enjoy talking to him. How is Foreman Ting's relationship with Mr. Robinson? Foreman Ting used to be Mr. Robinson's assistant, but their relationship was never too close. Both have probably already heard about Foreman Ting beating up Mr. Robinson a while ago. What was the specific reason for that? Foreman Ting came to ask Mr. Robinson in private to help him test the steel made by his method. Mr. Robinson agreed and ran tests over and over again, but the results were unsatisfactory. Foreman Ting was quite stubborn and insisted Mr. Robinson was being half-hearted. Mr. Robinson only meant to help, so naturally he resented Foreman Ting's accusations. Mr. Robinson's words became quite harsh. Foreman Ting was so angry that he beat up Mr. Robinson. The mad was only a result Mr. Lee stepped in. After all, Foreman Ting was just too eager to achieve success. Alright, well, that's it for now. Let's go talk to the lovely journalist. Are you here to investigate a laboratory? I'm here for the photos. The camera was destroyed, but fortunately the film inside was untouched. Mr. Robinson from the laboratory helped me develop them. What kind of photos did you take? Can we have a look? I only took a few, and most of them are on scenery shots. You can see for yourself. Alright, let's take a look at them. So for questions that I would like to ask is when. Oh, that is true. Always have questions. About the ironworks. As you are writing a report on the ironworks, you must know its recent developments. Of course, I'm a senior reporter. It's really difficult for national enterprises like the Hanyang Ironworks to develop and grow. They need to buy foreign equipment, even mineral resources are controlled by foreigners. At the market, foreigners control the right to build most railways in China. They're the ones who decide whose steel rails to buy and what the standards for testing are. Take the Shanghai-Nanjing Railway with a British chief engineer, for example. The agreement specifically specifies the British in charge of purchasing take a commission of 5%. Naturally, the British would choose to buy Western products to gain more profit. When they purchased steel rails, they would nitpick at Hanyang Ironworks products. Recently, the ironwork is more competitive due to a new method that greatly reduced costs. However, rumors about the bad quality of its steel rails have sent the ironworks to rock bottom. No wonder Deputy Administrator Lee seems so anxious. That's why he hopes that my news report can help them restore their reputation. Alright, that's all I got for you for now. I feel like Supervisor Ho may be lying about the fact that the steel that the victim made wasn't good, but we'll see. Let's take a look at these photos! On the left is a photo of Hanyang Ironworks freight dock. In the middle is a photo of the molten steel basin. We've seen this before. This photo was taken in the office on the furnace factory floor. He's not wearing a headscarf. Interesting. The office in the photo looks different to what it's like now. But when was this photo taken yesterday evening as well? What about it? This detail in the photo differs from how the office is. It seems quite peculiar. Why is the table? I feel like the table was... The map. Blueprints on the walls changed. The photo of flowchart of the steelmaking process was placed above the map. But now it's a working drawing of the open hearth furnace. Furthermore, the map in the photo looks evidently more worn down. Who did it? Why would they suddenly make such a change? When the incident occurred, I was in the office. The blueprints were switched out then. You think this could be related to Foreman Ting's death? It's hard to believe that there's no connection whatsoever between these two. Could it be that the suspect did it? Can I rule out the possibility that Foreman Ting did this? Oh! Fight Club moment! Fight Club moment! My favorite! Was it necessary for Foreman Ting to replace the flowchart with a working drawing? Could you not surprise me like that? Why do you have a split personality in your head, Shen? Could you not avoid the subject? I like evil Shen. Answer me. Was it necessary for Foreman Ting to replace the flowchart with a working drawing? No. There was no need. He already... Yeah, both furnaces are in operation. Didn't make any sense to handle a working drawing up again. Foreman Ting had no reason to change the blueprint. nor did other workers.
其他的工人也没理由这么干。
I'm betting something is on the original maps.
除非
Unless the suspect did it.
继续。
Go on. Oh, Fight Club moment, Fight Club moment.
疑犯有
Does
什
the
么
suspect
必
have a
须
valid
要
reason to
提
place
出
or
的理由吗？
to replace the blueprint? To cover up
难
traces?
道是为了掩盖墙上的
To
痕
cover up
迹？
traces on the wall? That's not right. The size and location of blueprints has not
疑
changed.
犯有什么必须要替换图纸
To
的？
destroy information. I'm guessing something got on those.
显然，
Clearly, there was some information on the paper that did not want us to
为
see.
了销毁它
In
们，
order to destroy it, they switched out both of the blueprints.
所以呢，
So what kind of information was it?
照片中的两
Nothing
张图纸
special
分
about the
别
two
之
blueprints
中
in the photo, no trace of handwriting on them either. Aside from its worn out state, the map is the exact same as the map on the wall now. Which means... it was left alone.
只能是后
The
来才
information could have only been left alone.
说明，
After the photo was taken, new information appeared on the blueprints that were torn off.
所以
So what's the new information?
可能性
There
太
are too many possibilities.
疑犯
Yeah,
难
the
证
suspect has only one reason to hide evidence.
被隐藏
The
的
hidden evidence will reveal their crime.
有人一直在
Rumors say Ting was killed by ghosts, but he was most likely murdered before falling into the ladle.
这意味着
This means that new information appeared on the blueprint was the bloodstains or the suspect's identity.
可能性最大的
It's most likely
疑
bloodstains.
犯想要营造
Suspects
受
trying to
杀人
make
的
people
假象
believe Ting was killed by
如果
ghosts.
车间里发
The
现了
bloodstains found on the factory floor, their scheme would be
证
exposed.
据
Evidence. Give me evidence that supports your deduction.
证据
Other evidence
能
that I
侧面
yet
佐
to
证死
consider.
者
Evidence
手
that
上
could
流血的证
indirectly
据是
prove that the deceased was injured and bleeding is the discarded uniform?
不
No, this piece of evidence is irrelevant.
能侧面佐证死者受伤流血的证据是
Injured and bleeding. Injured and bleeding. Blueprints on the wall. Oh!
是的，
Foreman Ting abnormally wore a headcloth this
头
morning.
巾的作用。
Headcloth may have been used to cover the scars and bloodstains on his head.
不过，
However, this is not enough to prove the hypothesis I just made. Unfortunately, the body has been destroyed, otherwise an autopsy would reveal everything.
即便是假设，
Even if it's just a hypothesis, at least it tells us that.
案发的第一
The
现场
primary crime scene is most likely the office. Alright, we're done with that Fight Club moment. I really like the Fight Club moments. I like that he talks to his evil self that he hates. Well, maybe it's not evil, but the other side of him that seems much less nice. You already alright? Did your headache act up again? I'm fine. Just now I've understood something. It's most likely that the office was the primary crime scene. The blueprints were switched out because blood splattered across them. The voices! Yeah. Shen. I like that Shen conversed with like a much less nice version of himself. I can't really say if that version of him is like evil. I mean, he's a little bit more menacing. I wonder if it's like his imaginary friend. Or if he's like schizophrenic. So that's what it was. Sorry, but this is just a hypothesis. We need to find a way to prove it. With blood splatter on the blueprints, we should be able to find bloodstains on the wall. But we didn't find anything, so it must have been wiped clean. If only we could find a way to test for it. If only. Shen, I've got an idea. In my father's notes, I once read about an ammonia powder that glows when it reacts with blood. I never thought this laboratory would have it. Scientific name for it is 3-aminophthalhydrazide. What? I'm pretty sure that's not how you say that word. And you try to prepare a blood detection reagent. It'll be wonderful. Alright. Let's go borrow Mr. Robinson's laboratory table. I'm wondering if the old map was burned here. Alright, it's time to prepare the blood detection reagent. Remember, left for items, right for weights. Wait, I have to do this? I just need to follow my father's notes step by step. I'm sure it will be made perfectly. I have to do this? Okay, so I need 0.2 grams of luminol. What the hell is luminol? Oh, right here. Okay. Step 2. 6 grams of NaOH. 6 grams of NaOH and NaOH. This thing right here. And then we need 90 milliliter of. Okay, so I need 90 milliliter of H2O. H2O. Isn't H2O just water? Okay. 1. Oh. Wait. Oh, I get it. You can't put 3 tubes. You have to fill this up and subtract. Okay. Got it. And then 40 milliliter of H2O2. 40. 120 minus 50. 70. Okay. H2O2. Okay. The blood detection reagent is all done. Sure. Let us go to the office for verification. Thank you all for your help. I'm gonna go inside now. To the office we go. Mr. Deputy Administrator, we suspect that the office was the scene of the crime. Need to detect blood. Shall we close the door and windows and turn off all the lights? As long as it contributes to uncovering the truth, do whatever is convenient for you two. I have to spray the blood detection reagent through the... Oh! There you go. It's blood. Blood on the walls and on the floor. Is everything that glowing a blood stain? It appears that we need to investigate this room. Crime scene investigation time! The bloods in the wall are mainly cast-off pattern bloodstain with a wide range. Preliminary judgment, the murder weapon was not a knife, but a blunt object instead. The murder weapon be something inside this room. It is an object in this room. If it is an object in this room, the murderer probably committed a crime of passion. We test every object on the desk and there weren't any reactions to blood. These 2 bloodstains look really strange. This looks like a symbol drawn on the bloodstained floor. The other one looks like a stamp and it feels somewhat familiar. Something that could leave such a large bloodstain should be the murder weapon, right? It is highly possible. This trace is very important and needs to be specifically recorded. Huh. I have a bold hypothesis. My instincts tell me that the murder weapon was the statue of Ganjan and Mo Ye. The weight is appropriate, but the shape seems to be a bit short. You can try to test it. I'll examine the shine of the statue closely. There's no luminous reaction at all. I guess it wasn't it. Only my instinct were as sharp as Shen's. It's not instinct. Yeah, do not rely on my instincts to solve cases. Power of deduction. Do you think steel rail samples on the display shelf could be the murder weapons? You might as well try testing it. I'm afraid I can't. The reagents applied to the steel rail, the results might be inaccurate. Oh, because it's also metal. There isn't any reaction to blood on this clock, which means it's not the murder weapon. Okay, so I'm limited to whatever is on... Any reaction to blood on the table. There are 2 long cast-off patterns of bloodstain on the board of name badges. Cast-off range is wider than any of the cases I have seen before. The name badges are blocking the bloodstain. Should I take them down and test them? Sure, but keep a record of the hanging position of each name badge. Doing our best, Muto! Investigate, investigate, investigate. I already tested all the name badges and there weren't any reactions to blood. Bloodstains on the copper board are continuous and obscure. That means there was no badges on there at the time. Does this mean that the crime took place before the workers started work? You are correct. Okay, so if it's not that... It's not the statue. The wall with blueprints has cast-off pattern bloodstains as expected. The cast-off range is quite wide, so the murder weapon seems to be something that is very long. Take down the map and paste it back on later. Bloodstain on the wall stops when it reaches the map. The murderer really switched out the blueprints to hide the bloodstains. Shen's deduction is incredible. What am I missing? There's a blurry bloodstain on the floor with uneven thickness. This is a swipe pattern bloodstain left by the murderer when they cleaned up the crime scene. You see those parallel lines at the edges of swipe marks. Scattered spots surrounding the blurry bloodstain that seems to be projected bloodstains. This is the result of blood colliding and splattering all around. Such traces often appear at the scene where the victim is repeatedly hit by a blunt instrument. Alright, I've completed our investigation of the crime scene. Let's read about, let's get some forensic knowledge. Luminol reaction. Luminol is a chemical reagent that was first synthesized in 1853 and emits blue light when oxidized. Due to the bivalent iron in blood acting as a catalyst for this reaction, forensic science began using it in the 1930s to detect blood traces at crime scenes. The luminol reaction is highly sensitive, capable of detecting blood stains that have been wiped away or are very old. In the story, the use of luminol by Afu to detect blood is a fictional element. Don't try it at home, kids. Swipe pattern bloodstains. Swipe pattern bloodstains are bloodstains left upon the contact area after a moving source through collision or friction. Generally irregular in shape, they can be identified through demarcation. Projected bloodstains are bloodstain patterns that are created when some form of energy has been transferred to a blood source through impact or force, resulting in blood splatters that fall upon surrounding surfaces. Generally categorized as impact spatter, splash pattern bloodstains, back spatter, and expirated blood. History lesson time. Hanyang Iron Works Monument. In June 1894, the Hanyang Iron Works was officially put into operation and a monument was constructed for commemoration. Wait, this was a real place? I thought they made it up for the game. Many skilled workers from overseas were introduced at the beginning of the establishment of the ironworks. To thank them for their remarkable contribution, the upper half of the monument was engraved with Hanyang in Pinyin and June in French. The pointed hammer and flat hammer at the center was the emblem of Hanyang Ironworks. The lower half of the monument was engraved with an olive branch symbolizing peace and friendship. Unfortunately, destroyed by the flames of war, this monument is now lost. Yangtze Dong. Yangtze Dong, 1837-1909, was a representative figure of the Western Affair movement in the late Qing dynasty. He advocated Chinese tradition values for foundation and Western ideology for practical use. Having experienced the Sino-French War, he was deeply aware of the importance of industrial development. In the spring of 1890, as the viceroy of Huguang, he collected funds from various places. After going through hardship, he was finally able to begin the construction of the Hanyang Ironworks in 1891 and began officially producing iron from June 30th, 1894. With the most advanced technology in the world at that time, he produced the first furnace of molten steel in China. Natural philosophy. During the mid-19th century, the increasingly close culture exchanges between China and foreign countries, as well as the influx of Western missionaries, brought modern scientific and technological knowledge into China. Natural philosophy, compiled by Englishman Benjamin Hobson, was regarded as an enlightening read for Chinese people on Western science and technology. Divided into three collections, natural philosophy touched upon physics, chemistry, astronomy, zoology, and other knowledge. What? I don't know how to say this word. Ideologist Wan Tao evaluated his composition, saying that a scholar who studies the phenomena of nature to acquire knowledge must start from here and set this as their standard. English, I promise. Alright. No more questions for him. I have to find the murder weapon now. Nothing else to look at in the crime scene. Alright, it is time. Search for the murder weapon. What are you doing here, Awu? Did you just say that? The foreman was murdered? At present, it is highly likely that he was murdered. Mr. Shen, you'll believe what I say, right? Yes. I remembered something strange. My master doesn't let me say much, and I'm not sure if this is important or not. There's no one else here, Awu. Be at ease and tell us. This morning, I noticed that the crane hook was not stationed at its usual position. Where is the crane hook usually positioned? It's supposed to be between furnace number 1 and furnace number 2. But when I got here this morning, I saw the crane hook station in front of furnace number 2. Is it possible that someone used the crane hook during working hours? Not likely. No one would move the crane hook if we weren't casting ingots. So you suspect that someone used the crane hook last night? That's right. Thank you, Awu. This really helps us with our investigation. Anyway, hurry up and find that murderer. Alright, thanks, Awu. Awu noticed the crane hook changed position when he started work in the morning. Alright. Existing evidence is enough for me to sort out some doubts. Is it really? Is it really? I haven't found the murder weapon yet. figure out the murder weapon yet. Well, Shen said some doubts. What is that? Looks familiar. Huh. I don't know. Shen knows something that I don't. Let's keep investigating. Auntie Vu left. Alright, let's go upstairs. Take a look at the lever. Oh, here's some more. Okay, so they turned this off so we can walk all the way around. Nothing of note though. Let's go to the furnace charging area. We have yet to investigate this place again. Oh, Lee, the factory floor is already quite arid. Why is there a tarp covering the iron? Ting instructed us to do so. He was afraid the bulk material and the iron would be mixed up. Interesting. Let's talk to old Lee. Shen briefed old Lee on his recent analysis. So you're saying Foreman Ting was murdered? It wasn't because he provoked that thing in the shrine? Of course, we went to the office and nothing happened. Old Lee, between last night and this morning, have you noticed anything unusual? Or perhaps, have you heard any strange noises? Nothing unusual or any strange noises. Were you working on the second floor furnace area all night? Yeah, sometimes I take a break, but I never left, not even for a second. Spent the whole night on the second floor and found nothing unusual. This conflicts with the discarded uniform. Oli, do you recognize this piece of clothing? Isn't this our uniform? What's wrong with it? We found this in the warehouse. Do you know who this belongs to, Oli? I can't tell you, but it's definitely not mine. I don't think asking this is useful. Allow me to reconsider. Spend the whole night on the floor and found nothing unusual. That conflicts with... Oh, the crane hook! The movement of the crane hook are exceedingly noisy. If you were really here all night, how could you have not known that someone used the crane hook last night? It's alright. Just tell me the truth, Oatly! Were you the person who moved the crane hook? It wasn't me. Last night I did in fact leave the second floor furnace area. Where did you go? I stayed up past midnight. I was very hungry and went to the dock to have a midnight snack. You left. Who was looking after the furnace? Furnace could be unattended for an hour after materials are shoveled in. Patrolman Ku can prove it. Whenever I'm on duty, we go to the dock together around that time. I swear I'm not lying. But trust your words for now. Is there anything else that you're hiding from us? No? Have you ever opened the conveyor door after the incident? If you keep fumbling, you'll just increase our suspicions! Just be honest with me. After the incident, I did open the conveyor door without permission. The fire was so intense, it's only natural that I feared death. Only human nature to flee for your life, but why did you keep this a secret earlier? There are rules of operation that require workers to put out the fire as a priority. I didn't have the guts to stay, but I was also afraid they would cut my pay. I have a family to support, so many mouths to feed. Alright, yeah, we just want to uncover the truth. We do not intend to cause you any trouble. Thanks a lot. Alright, so after the incident, Oli had opened the conveyor door, so the suspect probably left through it. The splash of the molten steel making it impossible to pass through the stairs in front. For a long time after the incident, the conveyor door was the only way to leave the second floor. I understand now there are only 3 possibilities. The murder was Oli, someone Oli covered for, or someone left the scene after Oli. Okay. Doesn't this mean that the person who didn't arrive at the scene immediately after the incident is the most suspicious? That is true. Even if that person is not Oli, there would be someone who is quite familiar with Oli. That is why he could predict Oli's behavior and use it to his advantage to carry out the plan. Alright. We have already examined all the places that could be investigated within the ironworks. It is time to ask Deputy Administrator Lee to gather everyone for a discussion. By gathering us all here, I'm sure Mr. Shan has come to a conclusion. There's no time to waste. Please begin right away. Alright. Here we go. Through investigations, we can confirm that the death of Foreman Ting was the result of a murder. The furnace area where Ting's falling incident occurred was actually the secondary crime scene. The murderer used a mechanism to make Ting jump into the ladle, staging a suicide. The presumed disappearing railing was actually a fake railing that was made from rubber. We found a batch of hard rubber blocks in the warehouse as well as traces from processing them. This kind of vulcanized rubber won't easily deform at room temperature. But when molten steel flows out, the rubber will gradually soften due to burning heat. A softened rubber railing would be able to sustain any weight at all. Ting's falling caused an explosion, burning up the rubber railing, which disappeared completely, quote unquote. The grayish-white powder we found on site was the residue from the burning of the rubber. These rubber blocks belong to Hubei Arsenal and are stored here temporarily. Who knew that it would be used by someone with ulterior motives? This proves that the murderer knows the warehouse inventory like the back of their hands. Yeah, I agree, Miss Wan. After the incident, Oli could not withstand the heat and opened the conveyor door. So all the murderer had to do was take the elevator after Oli left to make their getaway. The murderer was on the second floor the entire time. How come Oli never noticed them? That is because they were able to find a perfect hiding spot. The murderer must have hidden this location. Fit the hide in the iron. This is a sheet of dust cover. At the time, the murderer hid underneath it along with the body. Furnace Trager would have found them once he went to shovel materials. It takes 8 hours to purify steel in a furnace. Iron is required in the beginning. After that, only subsidiary materials are needed. Yes, that's right. There's no need for me to go back after I shoveled the iron. This murderer is quite familiar with the steel making process, huh? Yeah, you're getting there, Miss Wan! I like her a lot more now. Now that she's talking facts and not fiction. She's really cute. I like her design. Based on what Mr. Shen said, wouldn't it be easy to say that Oli was the murderer? That's true. He's the only person on the second floor. It would be easy for him to hide a body. It wasn't me that's just like putting a kangu on an innocent man. I've been wrong. Mr. Shen, you know this more than anyone else. It really wasn't me. Considering this piece of evidence, I believe that Oli was not the murderer. Huh? Guessing the suicide note? I have no idea. Hint. If Oli were the murderer, there would be no need to discard a certain item. Oh, the uniform. This new uniform stained with rust was discarded by someone and left in the warehouse. Only the chest and knees area of the uniform was stained extensively with rust. And rust only appears on the heap of iron scrap. It suggested that wearer lying on his front in the iron heap. If Oli was the murderer, there was no need for him to hide in the iron heap. Exactly. His job is there anyway, and it's not unusual for Oli to be stained with rust. Instead, a person who doesn't usually wear a uniform is more likely to do so. Which means the murderer most likely isn't a worker. Oh, you're getting there, Miss Wen! Yet they are familiar with the inventory in the warehouse and the steel-making process. Miss Wen, being able to forge a suicide note should also be taken into consideration. Of course. The murderer not only can write, but is also capable of imitating others' handwriting. It appears that Shen has come to a conclusion. Please identify the murderer as soon as possible. I'm gonna go with my gut and choose Supervisor Ho. Prime suspect of the case is you, Mr. Ho. Supervisor Ho doesn't meet all of the conditions, especially one about imitating handwriting. What is the meaning of this? Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Shen's probably mistaken. If Foreman Ting was murdered, the murderer had to drag his body to the second floor. I'm just a feeble scholar, so it would have been impossible for me to do so. Oh, I don't know about that. That would not be so difficult as long as you use this for support. The crane hook explains why it moved. After charging materials into the furnace, Old Lee usually takes a break from work for 1 hour. You knew about Old Lee's habits. You took advantage of Old Lee's absence. Started the crane hook, then transported the corpse to the second floor furnace area. You're not smiling now, Supervisor Ho! Can't fool me. If Mr. Shen thinks I'm the murderer, then fine, go ahead and regard me as the murderer. Xu Han, I entrust him to investigate this case. It's his duty to report suspicious people. If you have any objections, it would be best that you prove your innocence. You do not need to force Supervisor Ho to prove his innocence, Mr. Deputy Administrator. Since I suspect Supervisor Ho, naturally I will provide evidence to prove it. A gentleman should not be humiliated. There's no need for hypocrisy. In that case, would Mr. Ho be willing to have a debate with me? Oh, a debate? True gold does not fear fire. I shall not succumb to your injustice. Oh, he's definitely the murderer. May I ask the reason why Mr. Shen's... Oh, regard you as the prime suspect because you're the most consistent with the features of the murder. I read the book The System of Logic. Deduction needs to be logical. All features of the murder are summarized before. If you insist that these are the characteristics of the murderer, I do indeed meet the requirements. However, that doesn't mean that I must be the murderer, does it? People are people and steel is steel. There's a complexity to the action of people. The characteristics that are reflected cannot possibly be compared with steel rails. I'm just making this up. I have no idea what's happening. Do you think that anything sturdy and iron made is steel rail? Of course, not all things. But, consequently, not everyone knows the warehouse and arrives late is the murderer. There's a big difference between people and steel. Even so, the difference between people are in endless varieties. All of the various features of the murder you listed, that's just one of the many possibilities. But, and I find someone as a murderer with only a few possibilities. Isn't that too rash? Overgeneralization. Based on only two features, iron made and sturdiness, there is no way a complete deduction can be made. Aren't you the same? This is really difficult because I don't actually know what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I wrong? Okay, okay. I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to focus on what they're saying. Okay, this is a misinterpretation. You're refuting a covert replacement of my proposition. What I said was the prime suspect, not the murderer. A man with features of the murderer is not necessarily a murderer, but the murderer must be among those who meet such features. All people who meet these characteristics are all suspected of being the murderer. Shen, you keep blurting words suspect and murderer. You're the one who's misleading. Your so-called deduction is all speculations based on testimony. Bloodstain in the office. I'm able to confirm because we found bloodstains in the office. This is the actual primary scene of the crime. How could this be? Alpha made a reagent that glows when it reacts with blood. Does such a reagent really exist? Just bluffing? Mr. Lee saw our investigation process with his own eyes. I can test it again right in front of you. Even bloodstains from a long time ago can be detected. A long time ago? Good job, Afu. Afu really just put a hole in our argument. You're absolutely right. Those could be traces from a long time ago. Considering that, how can you be sure murder happened last night? But I can. Blood and name badge. Board of name badges can prove the time of the blood spill. You have blood stains on the board and no blood stains on name badges. This means that the murder took place before working hours. So what if it was before working hours? Little Afu said just now, Strange is able to detect bloodstains from a long time ago. I assume that the traces were bloodstains for now. I would like to ask Mr. Shen, if possible these bloodstains were splattered a long time ago? Oh damn! I can't keep up with this! Switch out blueprint. I'm able to prove the time of the blood spill. A blood stain breaks in continuity when it reaches the blueprint. No blood stain was seen on the wall behind the blueprints either. This proves the blueprints on the wall were switched out by someone. The missing section exists on the switched out blueprints. And the blueprints were switched out last night. So that doesn't prove anything? Who knows if the blueprints have bloodstains from a long time ago? By memory, those two blueprints were smudged and dirty anyway. Mr. Ho, you still have yet to realize the crux of the matter. I can determine when the blueprints were switched out because yesterday evening, Miss Wen took a photo of the office. In the photo, what was on the wall were blue blueprints. There were no bloodstains on them at the time. This means blood spilled last night. Wow, that was so fast-paced. I could not keep up. So you're pleading guilty? It's not the case. All I did was lose the debate. Where's the crime in that? Moreover, the debate wedge now is entirely based on an assumption. That little office reagent is actually able to detect bloodstains. I studied chemistry at the Ironworks School, and I have also read countless foreign books. I've seen a number of fluorescent dyes, but I've never heard of blood detection reagent. It's possible it's just a street trick? Oh, is my reagent just a street trick now? It's mainly composed of aluminum and hydrogen peroxide. The iron in blood can catalyze the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to generate monooxygen. Okay, I'm not reading this. It's too much science. You should understand the principle behind it since you've read books. So that means the detection of blood is actually the detection of iron. Even the tiniest amount of iron can be detected. But you realize this is an iron factory! Yeah, iron is everywhere. Generally, steel ingots and ironware won't give false positives, but rust or iron reagents as well. Foreman team used to conduct experiments in the office. They've been resulting explosions. Also possible that some reagent containing iron was splashed at the time. That is true. The pattern of bloodstains. Can be sure that they're bloodstains. What's there to say about the pattern? It's hard for Mr. Shen's deduction to convince me. Was that certain truth? Your Honor, in my humble opinion, all of Mr. Shen's deduction is just as mere assumption. Murder is a serious crime. It would be inappropriate to act with undue haste. Yeah, Afu. You should take a page out of Mr. Chow's book and not speak so much, but that's okay. Ho insists that a murder didn't take place, and Mr. Lee seems like he's almost convinced now. What should we do? We need to think of another way to prove it. No corpse and bloodstains aren't being taken into consideration. What else is there to prove? A murder weapon. Once a murder weapon is identified, we can prove that this was a homicide. I've got an idea right away. Yeah, excited to clean up your mess, Afu! But that's okay. How can we find the murder weapon in such a short amount of time? The suspect is so cunning that they must already destroy the murder weapon. All contact leaves traces. The evidence is not non-existent, but instead undiscovered. All objects and all images settle in different locations sequentially. This figure actually looks quite familiar. Something that could leave such a large bloodstain should be the murder weapon, right? It is clear to me the murder weapon was... Actually not sure. I'm just going with my gut. The murder weapon was silver coins. Silver coins? Do you literally believe that money makes the mayor go? I know we're going over time, but we're almost at the end, so I just want to get to the end. These are not just ordering silver coins, but the wages received from you. There were 2 blood-stained symbols on the floor, one of which appears in the silver coin. How could a few silver coins be able to kill anyone? Not if it's a bag. This piece of evidence will explain how silver coins were used as a murder weapon. The key to making silver coins the murder weapon lies within this. If there's any mystery within the photo, please point it out directly. Don't mind if I do! It may be impossible to kill with 1 coin, but a bag of coins is enough to be a murder weapon. Oh. Please see here, this is the emblem of the Hanyang Ironworks on the money bag. This is another bloodstain found at the crime scene. The pattern is perfectly consistent with the lower half of the ironwork emblem on the bag. After the killing, the murderer put the bloody bag onto the floor, leaving behind a trace. What money bag? What silver coin? Mr. Ho, if the money bag wasn't the murder weapon, why did you wrap the wages in the headcloth? I recognize the money bag in the photo. It is indeed something you often use. What's going on? Where is your money bag? Mr. Lee, Supervisor Ho suggests that you pay the wages in advance to reassure the people. When in reality, it was to dispose of the murder weapon. This behavior alone is enough to show that Ho Shi-hen, you are the murderer. ... Honor, I accidentally ripped the corner of the money bag this morning due to my negligence. To prevent the loss of silver coins, I used a headcloth to wrap around the money instead. I got rid of the damaged money bag without a second thought. Sus! Destroyed it, didn't you? The blood on the silver coins can be washed away, but the blood on the money bag cannot. What blood is there? Don't forget reagent. And determine whether traces on the floor are bloodstains or reagent containing iron. I seriously have no idea how I came to the conclusion that I'm the murderer. I don't know, man! Just the way you're reacting makes me convinced that you're the murderer. In the end, you have no conclusive evidence to connect this matter to me. The only way to nail him down is to find direct evidence that proves Supervisor Ho was involved. What kind of evidence could it be? Fight Club! How about I help you sort out the events of this case? This is my favorite part of the game. I love talking to myself. There's no need. I can do this myself. Review the whole case and figure out which part of the murder's plan would leave traces. Then I need to present the evidence that proves Supervisor Ho was involved. In the office, he murdered Ting with a bag of coins, then carefully cleaned up the crime scene. When Old Lee was away, he used the crane hook to move the body to the second floor. He shaved rubber in the warehouse and set up the rubber railing before working hours. Once finished, he hid in the iron cover with tarp, waiting for the right moment to appear. When casting began, he used the ladle to create the incident, then hid in the corridor. When Old Lee went to check on the explosion, he hid back in the iron heat. Finally, after Old Lee left, he used the elevator to flee the scene. Claims he last saw Foreman Ting yesterday evening near the steam turbines. Foreman Ting was wearing a headcloth. On the wall. Old Lee went to check the explosion, hid back into the iron heat. Part of this. Hiding the iron will leave marks on the body, which might be detectable using a certain item. Blood detection reagent. Okay. The conclusive evidence lies right upon Supervisor Ho's person. If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave. Hold on. What else can I do for you? Since you insist that you did not murder anyone, to prove your innocence, could you allow us to test your hair and clothes? Because he shouldn't have iron on him. Since you're innocent, why would you be afraid of a test? Exactly! Your Honor, I didn't murder anyone. It's only natural that bloodstains won't be detected on me. But I'd rather die than be humiliated. That's strange. It seems that by doing so, your innocence will be restored. The ancients were willing to break all the bones in their body to prove their innocence. You're telling me that you're afraid of a few drops of reagent, Mr. Ho? I'm completely innocent. Of course I'm not afraid. I also need a staff member in the ironworks to take this test. That's someone who isn't a worker. Patrolman Ku, cooperate with them. Thanks! Sorry I called you sus earlier! Offer use reagent to test Supervisor Ho and Patrolman Ku respectively. Supervisor Ho is glowing. Could it be that blood is detected from his clothes? That's impossible. I've never been stained with blood. What made the Lumina glow was not blood. In fact, rust that was left on Supervisor Ho. This is the conclusive evidence. What am I talking about? Mr. Ho, iron and rust will also cause the luminol to glow. This is something you yourself have been repeatedly emphasizing moments ago. There's a very crucial part of your plan. To avoid running into old Lee, you had to hide underneath the tarp multiple times. All contact leaves traces. There's rusty steel scrap underneath the tarp. Even if you wore a uniform on the outside, the cuffs of your sleeves, the hems of your clothes, and your hair are bound to be stained. I'm working in the ironworks all year round. It's only normal for me to be stained with iron. I knew you would say so, which is why I asked the patrolman to act as a control in the experiment. He also works in the ironworks, yet there is little to no luminal reaction on him. How would you explain this, then? Well, what? What? What is it? What is it? When I was making an inventory of iron ore this morning, I accidentally tripped and fell. I guess the cuff and hem of my shirt were turned dirty then? How could there have been such a coincidence? Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. Mr. Ho, how did you fall so the rust got all over your braid? I slipped and fell on my back. You just lied and gave yourself away, Mr. Ho. There's not much of a blue glow on your braid as there is on top of your head. Never mind, I changed my mind. I like the journalist, she's cool. This is outrageous. Mr. Ho, we can also make a comparison with the traces on the uniform. We will see if the traces on the uniform can match the traces on you. After leaving the furnace area, you had to show up as soon as possible to avoid suspicion. Then you discussed with Mr. Deputy Administrator about paying wages early to destroy the weapon. Right after Alpha and I arrived at the ironworks and began our investigations. Therefore, you do not have time to deal with the traces on your person. You probably didn't even know it was there. That was the reason why you were so flustered earlier. Confess, you have no more excuses. My jelly was right. He was sus. I knew it the moment I saw his smile. That's right. I did it. Why in the world would you do this? I found a method that can improve the steel making process. From this day on, we won't have to buy expensive coke from overseas anymore. Our cost is 1/3 lower than that of Journey in Japan, yet the quality is almost the same. Foreman Ting, you had finally done it. I've been waiting my whole life for this day. Our railways can finally use steel rails made by ourselves. Foreman Ting, the test report from London is here. It says that the steel rails made with your new method have a risk of fragmentation. Fragmentation? That's impossible. We just completed tests on its mechanical properties and there were no problems at all. I'll leave the reports in the office, you can take a look for yourself. This doesn't make sense. Every segment was undoubtedly... Foreman Ting, you should take a break. You haven't slept in 3 days. This test, there must be something wrong with the test report. Yes, you can ask Mr. Robinson to test it again, however, Foreman Ting. Still because of the coat. I thought we were close to the end. We're almost there. He's confessing, Brondo. What do you mean? He's confessing. This is the end. It's time to accept reality. Mr. Lee has already decided to continue purchasing Westphalia coke. Foreman Ting, please understand that this is mainly due to consideration for the production time. Well, I should congratulate you then, Supervisor Ho. Huh? I don't believe it! Well, we're almost there! You've been fooling the entire factory for months. Tell me, how many benefits have you and Robinson received from them? I was right! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! He was getting a cut! Foreman Ting, what are you doing? You mean, in a moment of desperation, you accidentally killed Foreman Ting in self-defense? It was all circumstantial evidence? It doesn't matter, Brondo. A confession trumps all circumstantial evidence. Mr. Shen, what do you reckon? It was not self-defense.
我并不认为
I do not think he acted purely out of
公
self-defense.
事房地面上的血
There are
迹
projected
能见我的
bloodstains on the floor and castle pattern bloodstains on the wall.
这说明在丁家
This shows that the murderer continued to hit Ting on the head even after he fell to the ground.
如此
Doing so was just to ensure that Foreman Ting's death was certain. It was getting kickbacks!
你杀人之后的
Your way of
手法
disposing of the
环环相扣
body was impossible to carry out without planning in advance.
所以你在昨晚
Therefore,
杀害丁
even
家
if you murdered
或许
Foreman
是
Ting
临时起意
impromptu last night,
但你的杀人计
your
划
murder
是
scheme was deliberately planned.
那真相
So what exactly is the truth?
丁教母提出
Foreman Ting suggested a method of steelmaking that uses cheaper materials.
这个方法大大
This
降低了
method reduced costs but cut
斩
off the
断负责
purchaser's
残
source
害
of
之人的
wealth.
财路于是
This is the reason why Supervisor Ho and Robinson colluded to falsify the test report.
借此说服李慧办
To persuade
继续
Mr.
购买
Lee
高
to
价
continue
胶片
purchasing pricey
继续
coke
从中
so
牟
that
利
they could make money from it.
丁教母怀疑检测报
Ting
告作假
suspected the report was false, but he failed to
But
challenge the authority of Mr. Robinson.
只能假借拜
So he
神之
conducted experiments in the name of
暗中进行实验
worshipping
只能
gods
证
to
明
prove
检
the
测报告
report
不
was
是
wrong.
而核思是
Yet Supervisor Ho
利
took
用这
advantage of this as well to create the illusion of Ting's suicide.
何许恒
Oh, Shihan, you treacherous leech! Well, damn.
吃里扒
Leech?
大人
Your Honor, I did all of this for the ironworks.
就算我配合
So what if I cooperate with Mr. Robinson and interfere with our self-inspection report?
伦敦的那份报
You
告
think I'd be able to tamper with the report in London?
什么化学检测
Chemical tests, phosphorus content standards of the
那
process.
都是人家
Those are all shackles that they're forcing us to wear.
连那些
Even the newspapers besmirching us are owned by them.
人家捏着我们
They're
的命
holding
脉
our lives by the neck. What do we have that could ever counter that?
何许恒
Shihan, have you no shame?
大清的
Right to build railways in China have already been divvied up among foreign lords.
其中的每个
There's a tremendous profit in every single segment.
前段时间
We were under the spotlight after we successively sealed several steel rail deals a while ago.
本是跟在后
We
面
used to be runts who followed behind them, and now you're trying to flip the table over.
你以为杨大
Do you
人会
think the
放任
foreign
天上
lords
继续
will
出
allow
现
the ironworks to continue standing in the spotlight?
采购高价
By purchasing expensive coal, you're just returning a portion of the benefits back to them.
这就是你为
Is
自己
this
做
how
的
you
不能走的
justify
理由吗
filling your own pocket? Yeah, you took kickbacks, right, dude?
工厂
This way, the ironworks will survive while I can earn a little money, a way of living.
都只是生许恒
You have brought me such disappointment. Have you lost your ambition to build industry in China?
报复
Ambition? You eat ambition to sustain yourself?
出治国
With shackles everywhere, how will we ever be able to improve the prosperity of the country?
可是
However, since the test report was falsified, that means
即便只能
even though he could only use low quality minerals and cheap gold, Ting did make good steel. So what?
说明炼
It
钢技术
means
的
that
先进并不只有一个
foreigners
人
aren't
做
the
到
only ones who can make innovation in steelmaking technology.
你不会天真的
Can't
以
be
为
so naive as to think that elimination can change the situation, can you?
不过是皮
It's
肤
just
往
the
下
wishful
看
thinking of an ant that wants to move trees.
做丁教母所做的技术
If
革新
Foreman Ting's technical innovations are really as insignificant as an ant,
你口中的杨
why would the foreign lord you speak of sabotage and falsify the test reports?
如果没有这一点
Without
点
the
核心积累
without the acclamation of each speck of innovation, how can we compete with foreign companies?
愚公世代能
With
延伸
determination, even mountains can be moved. With unity, our nation is bound to thrive.
我会将丁教母
I
的
will
经历
write
记录
about
下
Foreman Ting's story in my news report so I can inspire more people. This is how you know this game is made by a Chinese studio.
办铁厂虽艰难
So many hardship in running an ironworks. We won't succeed if we choose the model alone. This is not the kind of political stance you will find in Western games. Or like Japanese games. Or Korean games.
你输
A man as short-sighted as you would never understand the weight of such responsibility. Someone take Ho Shihan away and get Robinson in the office immediately. Alright! We solved the haunted furnace! We're a little over time, but that's okay. It's okay, we solved the case. That's what's important.
多亏了沈先生。
Alright. Alright. As much as I would like to keep going, we're gonna stop here. Stop here for today. And we will continue. Victorious. Next week. That's right, Muto. My jelly was right. My jelly was right. It was Supervisor Ho all along. Supervisor Ho all along. I don't know, man. Something about his smile just read sus to me. Sus. Alright. I know we're a little over time, but it was worth it to get to the end so we can start the next chapter fresh on our next stream. Ami Mir indeed, Brondo. Ami Mir indeed. Yeah, that is it for today. That is it for today. Thank you guys all so much for coming. Appreciate you all. You know, these type of game isn't for everybody, but I don't know. I hope you guys still have a good time. We'll be back on Wednesday with more Ori, where I cry and complain and whine and suffer. But I think we're getting closer to the end of the game, so baby steps. Baby steps. Maybe in 6 years we'll finish Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Have a great day or a great night wherever you are. Stay chill, stay safe, stay cool. I will see you guys in my next stream. Good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.